Mics are on.
Can we get a mic check? Mic check.
Mic check.
Let's just check it out.
Let me turn off the music and not do it like I did last time when the music was still going.
All right, we ready for some speak pipe questions? Just blaring music.
Yeah.
Griffin, 100% you should be watching this in your class.
Yes.
Is it really? How's the volume for you guys, YouTube?
YouTube.
Let's talk about some volume.
Dang it, you lured me in. It was going to start 30 minutes after your message. What?
The message said we'll be live in 30 minutes.
I know.
Arthur,
It
thanks,
says that.
man.
That's like an auto message. So we're trying something a little different. I'm not sure I'm quite a fan of it. We tried to do some moving around to make some room for some other videoing. And so you're going to get us at an angle.
Videoing.
So let us know what you think. Oh, you don't even see us. How can you let us know what you think?
Sounds good is what they're saying. Sounds
good. Now let's see if it looks good.
Am I romantic? Let's go watching at work as well. Me too, am I romantic?
All right, so here is what it looks like. I don't think I can do the little split screen. I mean, I suppose I could, but then you're always going to see this. Let's see what this looks like. Let's try this split screen.
I demand to have my own screen.
I don't even see it. I think you should just keep it like that and then move our mouths.
Just animate on this. I like it.
Add a cam 2.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hey, guys.
Why, hello.
Add main. And see, I need to. Okay, hold on. I need to change this to this.
Also, it's going to be a little weird because the camera is turned to where we are.
I know. Should I do it like this?
So the
no,
perspective is going to be a little different.
I need to move this so if Eric looks over at Robert, it looks natural.
Bobby, we can see your screen.
And then, I know.
That's what one of the comments.
Let's see what that does.
Chaser said, "I don't know what I'm seeing, but I hate it." Me too.
Yeah, see, I'm not.
I know we spent all this time on a nice wall. Now there's nothing.
Well,
Yeah,
because I was going to wait.
This blank wall.
I was going to wait to see if we settled with this, and then
should we just grab a bed sheet real quick?
Yeah.
Classic, but also rip.
I got an itch on my shoulder blade.
Arthur says the lat shirt is sick.
Oh, thank you. It's a GBO shirt from a couple years ago.
Also this year. Wait, what?
No. Just a different color.
Yeah, that's too far away from
That looks
me.
weird.
What does?
That does. Because it looks like you're facing Robert. Like
I know. Now, what if I do? If I do like this, does it look like I'm looking at him?
Yeah.
What if I do this?
And then you look at him.
Hold on.
Now you look at him.
But this
So look
is so
that
far
way.
behind.
Yeah, but look that way. It's gonna work.
Let's see if it works.
Hi, Robert. Why'd you look?
What? I'm waiting on this to catch up.
Watch, here it
But
comes.
you ruined the illusion.
Let's see.
I've already seen it.
Oh, look at my hand go through there. It's weird.
I can't see
Wait,
Robert's
hold on,
right ear.
Bobby.
I'm scared and confused. Thank you.
Oh gosh. That looks weird.
I don't like that.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, we finally looked at each other on here.
Oh.
It's classic.
So when you want to talk to Bobby, talk to the wall. Talk to Bobby right there.
Yeah, talk to the
Keep
disc
it
right
real.
there. With the
Yes, Bobby, I would like to keep it real. Please don't turn on the effects for me. Thank you.
Man.
All right, well, you know what? You tried.
We'll go with it this time. We'll see what we can do later on.
We should just change it up every single time.
Ooh, that sounds like a great idea.
How close to a walk path is too close for a fairway? Eric, someone asks.
You got a new bag?
It depends.
Nice.
It kind of depends. Is it?
Your old bag's not even bad.
You could talk to him. You don't need to talk to them.
Oh,
when I'm
sorry.
answering a question, but whatever.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You don't want to throw across a path.
Right.
You don't want to really throw towards a path. If you're playing along a path, I think it's okay as long as you have good visual. I don't really. It's hard to say this amount of feet is okay when I don't know what it looks like.
Right.
So if you have a good visual of the path, I'm okay putting a hole there because common courtesy. If you see somebody walking, you won't throw and you'll let them pass.
I play for the people when they're
True,
on the path.
you do. That's why this year at the country club we took all the tee pads off the cart path.
Ideal.
So
I haven't
All
thrown
right.
it yet with the new tee pads, but
I
would
played
like
yesterday.
To. Yeah, like
it was good. I love it.
Good.
The new layout is epic. With Barsby, he wanted to get out and play a few holes. So
Nice.
I didn't play the whole round. I just kind of rode around in a cart and
Nice.
showed him here's where it's
Feels
gonna
weird.
that kind of
I'm
thing.
used
It's
to
a good
looking
gig.
at the side of your faces. Now I'm looking right at you guys.
Yeah.
We could just face each other when we.
That feels weird.
No,
All
I
right,
don't
guy-
think so.
My eyes almost hurt because Robert is not on the left side.
Mine too, Chris.
So
Robert, to be fair, he's always on my right side.
Yeah. This feels correct.
Yes.
This
This
feels
feels odd.
extremely
So you should be here.
incorrect.
Right. I know. I should be over there.
And then can you just put a camera on the table for you?
I think that's what we did
It would be-
before.
we
When
And
we
then
were,
when we were in
when we were in your
there,
office.
but that was
There.
post-produced.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The only thing is, if we put a camera there, they're gonna see it in that one.
Well, yeah, but then you wouldn't. Oh no, you still.
But that one would be over there.
Oh yeah. Well, but you still, I don't know.
Magic.
All I know is that
It's so nice
everybody's
to be in a
reading
bigger
all your
room.
details on your computer right now.
Oh well, all they're reading is the chat that they see already.
The chat.
Yeah. Why is it right now? Oh, because I don't have it playing.
Look at all
Okay.
them points. That's so weird.
That's so disorienting.
What?
We all
When you
pointed and
point
everybody
across
pointed
the
at the
screen.
same time, and it was just so weird.
Great.
Ready? Everybody point.
In a different direction?
Yeah.
This is going to be fun here in a minute. Danny, just go ahead and pull up the stream, see how bad it looks.
Oh my gosh! Look when I reach all the way across.
So weird.
Steven says, I feel dyslexic. Me too.
That's going to look weird.
Zach
too.
said, this is a great discussion. You're correct. This is the sort of high-level entertainment that you can expect.
This is what you get.
Exactly. Y'all would love it in Renan,
go.
Tulsa today.
There's the points.
Are you guys now seeing it? Okay.
It looks so ridiculous.
We mostly tune in for the discussion of camera positions. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
you're right.
Oh.
I do not
weird.
like this.
That's weird.
What happened to your arm, Bobby?
I don't know.
He broke.
I'm double jointed. Yeah, we're gonna switch this around when we get done. So, all right. So we are here for the disc golf answer man, or the camera split screen
Man, if
answer
our,
man.
if our audio listeners only knew.
Well, they don't get to hear
really
this at all.
goes on.
Well, they don't get to hear this.
No,
at all.
that's
I mean,
what I'm
they
saying.
think it's
Yeah.
like-
That's what I'm saying. If they only
oh, the
knew,
fun they miss out on.
Yeah.
This is the most professional show they've ever heard.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're gonna
Little did they
record
know.
Yeah.
the disc golf answer
Joke's
man
on y'all.
episode 260. We got some speak pipe question, and I've got to. What do I got to do? I gotta find our Google form. So why did you get a new bag, Danny?
Daniel,
It's the same bag.
why did you get a new
it's
color
it's
back?
it's a new one.
It's just a different color. They had a prototype they wanted me to test out or something.
Sick.
Chris just said, hey,
That is the tested one.
Yeah.
yeah. Chris said, hey, you want to try
Yeah.
the new bag? And I said, okay.
Oh, so we can't show
Commander.
that on camera.
Do you
can
carry
we?
the Commander? Like, really?
Holds more frisbees. Not bad, so I throw more.
Does
Nice.
it? Does it though?
Turn that one around again.
If you use the top pocket, no, on a Ranger.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to start doing
Okay.
this.
Adam,
Yeah, we
I
can't-
was not playing Apex all night. Thank
That's
you
cool.
for asking.
We cannot.
I love the
play-
color
We cannot
scheme.
show the bag that he
favorite.
has.
Clint, great question. I usually cut my hair about every 3 weeks or so.
We could show it.
Oh,
There's
what
not
are you
like
acting
it's
like? Oh,
anything
I'm going to
different.
answer real questions, and you're talking about Apex in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
These guys are just chattering. I'm going to get to the questions.
Actually, you know what? I'm just talking about things that we can talk about on the show, as opposed to things we shouldn't be addressing at all
that's
live.
true. That's true.
Thank you,
Well, but you know, Rusko likes to tease people.
Bobby. You
This
are
new
killing me.
This new bag has shoulder straps.
Dude, and the
You should see
and
not
a
to
handle on the
pockets.
top.
and the solid gold.
Oh, solid gold, yeah.
You
are they,
can
zipper
put discs in the main pocket.
And the chocolate of the yeah.
Oh,
And the chocolate. Get out of here.
Let's see. All right, we're gonna get this going.
not recommended for play above 80 degrees.
I'm not recommended to play above 80 degrees.
You and Savory.
Brian, that's true. I had been playing Destiny a little bit lately. It's been enjoyable.
All right, here we go. Ready, guys? Ready to?
Yes.
Or wait, what do we got to talk about?
We'll talk. We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll just wing it like we normally, like we usually do.
I don't know. I thought we were very well prepared most of the time.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze.
Wow.
And I have in front of me, used to be to the side of me, but we switched
Yeah.
things up here. I have to the front of me,
Sup?
Eric.
Sup?
Are we doing an episode next week? So this week, you'll be GBO McCabe this week. Because are we going to record next week? An
Yeah,
episode
why
next
not?
week? Okay.
Probably. Not during
The
GBO,
week
though.
after we won't.
All right, then you'll be Eric
Just got back from Canada.
McCabe.
Perfect.
I was trying to do the Canada with this accent. How do you do a
All you have to do
Canada
is say
accent?
A at the
Eh,
end.
Canada, eh?
Yeah.
Canada. And Robert, Hand-Eye McCall.
Hey, what's up?
Got his cool Hand-Eye t-shirt
Wow,
on.
Robert got a nickname. Like,
He's got nicknames before.
well, yeah, but
this
never
one wasn't
like
derogatory.
that.
Yeah, this one was
like,
actually uplifting.
Most of them are rude.
Right.
and crude.
Yeah. And lewd. I win.
And we'll go
Yes.
on.
So if things seem a little off, if you've tuned into the YouTube, you'll see that we have a different setup. So we're all a little bit thrown off today. So if things seem a little off, that's not because of the normal off a little bit.
Right.
This is now a reason to be a little
Regular
off.
off.
Yeah. We have an excuse.
You might want to be careful on waving your hand because every time you do come close to the computer screen, it shows up on the other camera. Just something to think about.
Yeah, it looks weird.
What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
See, this
Watch-
ain't gonna work
watch how
because I
big
have to move.
Watch how big your
Well,
hand
yeah, but-
is
Yeah. I don't know.
on this. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, that
I
is
don't
the
like that.
scariest thing ever.
I don't like that.
Okay, we got to get back to the audio. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But I'm okay.
Please do.
Let's see. Danny sending me a message, throw me off. Where were we at? Oh, Canada. Eric, you talk about Canada.
Okay. It's a beautiful country.
It's just north of the United
It
States.
is north of us.
What were you doing in Canada?
I was designing a disc golf course. I was in Kamloops, British Columbia. It's an area that I'm somewhat familiar with. The first year I went, Paige Pierce and I traveled up there and played the Canadian Nationals. Maybe that year was the Ultra Glide, which is what they're bringing back this year. But I've been up there a couple times. This is where I took Paige Bjorkas for the first time, and I don't know if you remember me trying to come back into the United States with her, and I got pulled over at the border, and yeah, they got mad at me. But whatever, that's another story. But anyway, it's a great course. It's right in the middle of town. It's on an island. It's called MacArthur Island,
Okay.
and they call it Mac Island or EMAC Island.
What?
Just saying. They wanted a more, not necessarily like super beginner friendly, but something that, because it's on an 11-hole executive golf course that had been shut down. So there's
Sweet.
natural fairways, and you can see where the old greens were, and there's like water, like ponds, and a true island hole there that's really beautiful.
Nice.
So they wanted it to be somewhat short that a beginner can come through, because the other course that they have there in town, Rose Hill, I'm sure you saw me post some pictures and a few videos from me playing it while I was up there, is grueling. It's very difficult for a beginner. If a beginner goes out there, there's a good chance they're going to be turned off and just think, this sport is really hard.
Yeah.
So I put in a course that's a little bit more beginner friendly, but added a couple pins, a couple holes, couple tee pads on a couple holes, so an advanced level or pro level player can come in and have a great time playing
Stretch it out a little. yeah.
Stretch it out a little bit. Absolutely beautiful piece of property. I mean, it's going to be a very, very, very popular course. There's constantly people walking around there. What else is on the island is like 6 soccer fields and a bunch of baseball fields. And so it's like, a sports complex is what it is. And the city has been very, very inviting. They love the layout. We had a great time. And the beautiful part is there's not a lot of cutting that's going to need to happen there. So, boom, they're ready to get ground sleeves in the ground, baskets installed, and host the first event there, that the Ultra Glide. And I believe they've moved that date to the first weekend of August.
Okay.
And we're hoping to maybe make a trip out that way and
nice.
see what we can do for like official ribbon cutting on
Yeah.
the event or on the course. And yeah, I had a great time. Shout out to Carrie and Craig Neal for hosting me the entire week I was up there, feeding me, giving me rides and all that fun stuff. It'd been a while since I'd been up there and visited the whole club. The whole club was just great. We went out to dinner a couple times, had a barbecue, and it's been amazing.
Did you eat anything that was like native to that area or something?
Poutine. They took me out and ate poutine.
What is it?
It is basically
You
poutine.
don't know what that is?
You don't know what poutine
No.
It's delicious.
It's
First
just
off.
like a poo-poo platter.
It's
not that.
It's not that at all. No. It's basically French fries with gravy,
gravy
and cheese
fries,
curds.
Oh.
And they put like pulled pork in it sometimes.
Yeah.
They have different styles and varieties. But a buddy of mine took me out and we had that one day for lunch, and it was
Was it good?
amazing.
Nice.
They have some breakfast poutine fries at Radius right now on the brunch menu.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And the other day we went, and Shane Klein said he saw the word, and
Oh,
I think he knew. I
no.
think he knew how to say it, but he just didn't want to risk it. So he said, "Yeah, can I just have the breakfast fries, please?"
Nice.
I like
Nice.
that.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
very
good.
cool.
It was a great trip. Cannot wait to go back. I just love that area.
It's awesome.
So you said opening is scheduled for around the first, like
Well,
the opening or that
That's
event.
when like the ribbon cutting,
okay.
official opening, like that's going to be. But they're looking to they're hosting a trilogy challenge
Okay.
on the island, and they're hoping that's gonna be like June, early June. They're looking to get this course in the ground by like end of May, like mid-May. So they're ready to move forward right now. So
Nice. That's
you
awesome.
can stay in touch on my Facebook page, and Dee Dee's Facebook page. We'll share some stuff out as well. But you can also look up Kamloops Disc Golf Club, and that's KAMLOOPS Disc Golf Club on Facebook. And they have a Facebook and Instagram page, and you can just go follow them and check it out.
All right. Well, guys, if you're in that area, go check that out for sure so you can be up to date with what's happening over there. So, Robert, Eric is designing courses. Are you doing anything of significance?
Mm-hmm.
Share. No?
Yeah, you are. You did some school clinics a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
or a week
talk about
ago.
I did do that.
was cool.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent
See, I was trying to set
each
you up.
morning.
And you,
Thanks.
I know. And then I knocked it out.
It was just so far away.
Right.
Yeah, I spent a couple of hours each weekday morning a couple of weeks ago teaching students at an elementary school here how to play disc golf. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was like 4 classes a day and about 25 students a class. So talked putting, forehand, backhand, and then just some kind of scramble shots and stuff like that. It was great.
Any
Enjoyed
of the
it.
kids get to throw?
Yeah. I mean, some of them were solid.
See any future champions?
Maybe not that time, but there's some kids who came in.
But they're all pretty young.
Yeah. I mean, they
Right?
were
Yeah,
4th and 5th graders. There's some kids who came in not knowing anything about it, and by the end of the week were pretty solid. So
Good.
That was really cool. And
I
then
dig it.
I played disc golf once this week when
Did you?
it was nice outside. Yeah.
I played yesterday. I played the Hammond Park.
Uh-huh.
And
the Hammond Park.
The Hammond.
I played the Hammond Park.
Right.
Well, when you say it like that, it sounds like really more official.
It's
so.
official. That's true.
No, I played
It's
that last
the
night,
Hammond
and
Park.
I had a pretty good time. Tried out the Vandal a little bit more.
Oh, cool.
And then, but I was getting really frustrated because something was really wonky with my form. I don't know what it was. I was trying to put more hip spin into it, and then trying to grip my disc a little bit more, and of course, thinking of all that just threw me off a little bit. So I was a little frustrated, actually.
I think I played more disc golf in Canada the last week than I have
Rest of the year.
this whole year.
I could see that being true.
Because
Was
the
it-
club
was it
always
nice?
wanted to go out. And, oh yeah, it was like between 50s and 60s and sunny every day.
It's awesome.
It was ideal weather for disc
Yeah.
golf. It really was.
Yeah. This weekend I played golf one day and then just kind of hung out on Sunday and then played disc golf. I guess that was yesterday.
Nice.
And Danny and I built a PC. I say Danny and I. Danny told me how to build a PC. Like,
Nice.
Instructed you.
yeah, it was awesome. We enjoyed that.
Yeah, now we'll never see you again. You're gonna be inside shredding on the PC.
That's right. Well, I don't know if I'm shredding. I'm very new to mouse and keyboard, so I'm
Tearing.
yeah. I'm
Kind of like
I'm just subtly tearing.
okay.
Micro tears.
Like folding.
So, is there a big difference?
What? Between console and PC?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like enough to where you're like, oh, I'm really gonna shred once I get this.
No,
Because you
I
actually
mean,
do pretty, or at least in my perspective.
sure.
you do.
I'm okay on console. I'm very much less than okay on mouse and keyboard, but I think there is there's probably a higher ceiling on mouse and keyboard just because you can be so specific with your movements. But I mean, I'm nowhere close to that yet.
Have
I'm
you
just
played?
learning.
Have you played Apex yet?
Oh yeah,
And so you.
I've struggled.
Oh, okay.
Danny and I won one game the other day, which was fun. And then since I've gotten a few kills, I probably have like 20 kills, but I'm not. On console and on controller, there's some things that you're just used to because you have muscle memory. I have no muscle memory, so I have to
Right.
think
You're
on
learning.
every single thing. It's very difficult, yeah. But I like it. It's fun.
Cool.
It's
What
a
game
new.
is it?
It's a new challenge. Apex Legends,
Okay.
and then I've been playing Destiny 2 a little bit. It's fun.
So
And I'm over here playing like Mario Kart.
Hey, dude, respect.
I tried. I've played Apex a couple times. I get way too frustrated. I
Yeah,
just
I
say
can see
forget it.
that. That's kind of. I'm in that kind of boat.
I don't know why. I just get frustrated. Don't want to improve or do better. I'm just a bum.
That's true.
So let's get to
All
the
around correct.
let's get to the question.
Wait, what?
Let's get to the disc golf stuff. Remember, guys, as always, you can send in your disc golf question to discgolfansman.com. We will get it on the air, and we will answer it, or we will not. This one is from Josh.
There's only 2 ways it can go.
I will see you there, or
got
I
it.
will
50
see you on another time.
This one
Catch you
is
later,
about
Joker.
discs. Found an EMAC Truth on the course with no name on there.
Was it Eric's?
Do I return it to Eric? That's what he says.
Yes.
No, you keep that thing and you throw it.
And you love it.
You throw that right in your bag.
There you go. This one is I've recently been enjoying the disc golf fans video clips on YouTube. I was wondering why the whole show isn't available on YouTube on video. I think I replied this on the email because it is available on YouTube. It's available right now. Yeah, you can just go to dynamicdisc.com. YouTube.com/dynamicdiscs.
That's the one.
Ashton asks, I've been playing disc golf casually off and on for years now, but I'm recently getting more into it, actually looking at different molds and plastics as well as different brands.
Yep.
I'm sure all of the brands have good discs. It's just a lot of different information. I think it would be easier to pick one brand and learn everything about those molds and plastic.
Sure.
What brand should it be? No, he didn't say that.
No.
Obviously, we would say
West Side Discs.
Yes. Is that true? And if so, how do you pick what brand to study about? That's a fair question.
Yeah.
So if someone were to pick, I mean, obviously we would say our brand, but let's say if they were to just pick one brand, and probably one of the more major brands that has a pretty good lineup, could one be successful at disc golf?
Of course.
Absolutely. They could.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and they do.
Yeah, lots of people do that.
Does that make it easier to learn the game?
I don't think it's easier to learn the game. It may be easier to learn how a certain company's discs react to your game.
Right.
Because everybody's discs are going to be a little bit different.
A lot of people pick, now you said something about how do you pick the brand to study about. A lot of people, they don't really pick one at the beginning. It seems that
it picks you.
Right. Well, I mean, like if a buddy says, hey, let's go play.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a couple of discs here. Why don't you take it? It's a bunch of latitude. Well, that's what you're going to be.
I would suggest do some research, reach out on social media, look around, see which one just kind of calls out to you, and go from there.
Now, obviously, I'm going to be biased, but I will say when it comes to videos and teaching you, I'd say
helping you to understand on the front end.
We do a pretty good job. I mean, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can simply search, even start with, is this disc right for you? And plug in a mold from Dynamic Discs, and you'll find a video about how to throw that disc.
It may be an old video, but it's a video.
Right, and that reminds me, we need to film one for the
Trilogy
guard.
Challenge and all those.
And
Gatekeeper.
the gourd, the
Gatekeeper.
the Raider.
The Raider.
And
the answer for the
Trilogy
Raider
Challenge
is
one.
yes.
Yeah.
This disc
we don't
is
even
right
need to
for
do
you.
that one. It's
Should we just do one?
Yeah, is this disc right for you? It's 2 seconds,
and it's just us.
yes.
Yes. And that's it.
We should do that.
Thank you
Let's
for
do it.
joining us today for Is This Disc Right For You?
All right, next one is from Andrew. I'm trying to be more competitive this year and play in some more tournaments. So I'm resolved to fix some of my inconsistency by fixing my form.
Sweet.
I've been doing some filming of my throw and saw a lot that I need to work on, but I don't know where to start. What should I fix first? Footwork, reach back, follow through, rounding, or etc.? I think you should work on the etc.
Go ahead and
Etc. All of the above.
Etc. is the answer.
Etc. Etc. Etc.
Etc.
I consistently throw 330 to 350, but oftentimes miss my lines and release angles. So honestly, what do you think he should start with first?
First things first, ground up. I think footwork is the best place to start because that will probably solve some of your other issues by itself. If you are rounding or struggling with nose up or something like that, making sure that your feet are doing what they're supposed to will likely, if it doesn't solve it, it will likely alleviate some of that or at least get you on the right way.
I would agree with that.
And then it sets you up to have a proper reach back because if your feet aren't in the right place, you just can't reach back properly. Plain and simple.
And then timing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would start just from the ground up, exactly, almost in the order that he said. Footwork, reach back, follow through, rounding. That's pretty much what I would do. Yeah, I would go in that exact order. I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Jace.
And then throw some putting in there somewhere.
Yeah, you're gonna want to putt for sure. It is crazy though. Like I know that you're kind of messing around, but there are people, which is crazy, who will be like throwing 450. We see them post on the internet all the time. I want to throw 500. What do I need to do to take those extra 50 feet? But then you look at their rating, and they're rated not that great. Like, man, if you could throw 450 right now, get good at putting, and you're going to be a really good disc golfer.
Start practice putting. That's what I'd always suggest. Anything. I don't care how accurate or bad you are at driving. Right. My first thing you need to go to is putt. Get that putt lined up.
Yeah, and then your touch game too. Those approaches. Like if you've got those dialed in, even if you don't have great distance, you can compete with a lot of people.
That's why I can't stress enough going out. If you have a short course in town, play that short course all the time. Even if it's just with your putters and mids, It helps your approach game tremendously.
All right, this next one is from Anonymous. Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew or anyone else who's in the studio, quick question for you, and I'm going to need you guys to do what you do, and that is keep it real.
That sounded awful.
That's not the correct one.
I know.
That sounded like you were
It's also way too high on yours.
in a bathroom or
The
something.
the effect is too loud on yours.
Your effect is too loud.
That's fair.
Keep it real. Why does it sound weird?
Because table is different.
Oh, it's on you too.
I'm furious.
Oh, I know why.
Oh,
Because
why?
well, hold on. Yeah, see? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There we go. Now I know why. Now,
Stop.
keep it. Wow.
Just stop.
Can we just move on, please? I'm actually mad. Can we move on?
Where is the question? Oh, hey, Disc Golf Answerman crew. Oh, yeah, I said that already. Just finished my first round of match play, and unfortunately, I lost. My opponent was a 946 rated player.
Yep.
But is and has been registered to play in the Open and Open Master division for a few years.
Yep.
As an 817 rated player, this gets my hopes low, and I get crushed. Wanted to know your thoughts on if this should be allowed.
Sure. So you said they've already played or have not played yet?
Just finished my first round.
Just finished first round. Okay.
Unfortunately lost.
Okay. So here's how that stuff goes. I think the way that we do match play is if you're rated under 970. So any rating under 970, you are eligible to compete. That's the same this year as it was last year, right?
Yeah, 970 and below at the beginning of the year.
Right. So if here's part of the problem. Yes, being rated 817 if you're facing off against somebody who's rated 940, statistically you're giving up, 12-ish strokes to them, 13 maybe. And that's tough, but that's kind of part of why match play is the way that it is that maybe you get a different draw and you happen to match up with somebody who's closer to your skill level or even maybe slightly less skilled than you are. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like any given Sunday in match play. Once you play one hole, if you lose the hole, okay, that's 1 point. It doesn't matter if you lost by 4 strokes or 10 strokes or 1 stroke. It's just one hole. You move on to the next one. So yeah, that was tough. I do think it should be allowed because that's kind of the limit that we put on it, was that 970 ratings cap.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that just a thing that it's just luck?
Yeah, it's luck of the draw. That's all it is.
I mean, what if someone who was barely 800 rated and he got matched up to him, would he be like, this isn't fair, I'm much better than him?
Right.
Yeah. So
That's how it goes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to keep it real.
Yep.
All right, this one is from Wesley William Watt.
What's up, Triple
Oh.
W?
I'm not going to answer this on. It's about shipping.
Oh,
We'll get
okay.
to you a different way. Wesley William Watt. I wonder if it's a superhero, because superheroes usually have the first letter. Yeah.
On the screen right now, on my screen, is your hand looking like it's holding my chin when you put it out like this.
What did I do?
You did that, and it looks like it's just supporting my face, as if I can't on my own. Thank you. Okay, move on.
Next, I've been putting with a Vibram Soul for a couple of years and love the way it feels in my hand.
Yep.
Which putter in the dynamic lineup would compare?
So
It's literally called the Soul.
Yep, Soul.
Gotcha.
The Soul is a kind of a deeper putter as far as Vibram putters go. It has a rounded edge and kind of like a little concave underside.
You're fired if you say Warden. Go ahead.
Keystone.
Actually feels a lot like a Warden.
Does it really?
A little bit.
Okay.
I would say if you're looking strictly for the exact same shape, I would say it's probably more like a Mercy, because the Mercy kind of has that little curved underside instead of the Warden is kind of convex on the bottom. So yeah, I would say Mercy is probably closest. It's going to be similar depth and then same rim feel. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure I've felt a Vibram sole before, but just didn't think much about it at the time. But
Right.
my suggestion would be if you have a shop to go into, just kind of go in there and kind of get a good feel for everything. And if not, I would, suggest maybe if it does have the rounded edge, you've got the Warden, you've got the Keystone that's pretty similar to that. Maybe even a Mercy.
Yeah.
Has a little bit rounded edge, micro bead type style.
Yeah.
But one of those three.
Stability-wise, I think Mercy is going to be really close.
Okay.
They're actually the sole is pretty overstable. Not super dumpy, but like
it has a good finish.
If you throw it hard and flat, it's going to go straight, but then it's going to finish left.
Kind of like a shield.
Yeah.
So someone had a rebuttal or a clarification. Joshua says, I think his concern was playing an open player on the match play question.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's just part of the thing.
That's the same. That's the same deal.
Yep. He is still within his legal rights to play any advanced field as long as he has an accepted
That just
cash.
happens to be the cap.
Yeah.
If the cap was anything different, you would have a similar argument.
Yep.
But it would just be different numbers. So yeah.
That's correct.
Let's see. Dustin says, I recently played in a tournament where if you aced the 18th hole, you received a Harley Davidson motorcycle. What?
I want to play that tournament.
My question is, what is the coolest prize you have ever been able to receive during a tournament? $10,000 Ace Challenge.
One time I received
That
money
you
after a
have
tournament.
received, or that you have been able to.
You have
receive?
ever been able to receive?
Oh yeah, 10K for sure. Well, actually, no, 30K, I think was the biggest.
What was that?
It was a Chris Heiming, Ziegenbach Texas 10 event back in the day.
Was it an Ace Challenge for 30 grand? Oh.
Yep. It was actually the hole 3 at Lake Louisville from the beach.
Seriously?
And I missed that ace by like almost as much as I missed it last year.
Did anybody else get
I
closer?
would not be working to this day if I
was going to say, would you even be here if you would have
$30,000.
won that? You'd have been on
somebody. I don't remember
lake.
who it was. I don't think it was Gary Duke, but for some reason that name comes to mind. Somebody hit chains and spit out.
How
Like dead center
how
chain.
furious could you?
Yeah, I would just turn around and start
Especially on
walking into
30K.
the lake and never
Well,
stop.
that's it, guys. That's
Just
right.
see ya.
You guys can have my bag.
Yep.
I will be floating in the water.
All right, let's see if we can get this speak pipe working with the volume.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, Bobby, Eric, and Robert. This is Barry from Indiana.
Sweet.
So
What's
here
up,
in
Barry?
Indiana, we have a winter fundraiser series every year where we have a tournament every weekend in January, February, and March. This year, we raised just under $14,000 and donated 1,200 pounds of food to local food banks in the cities we played in.
Nice.
A couple of weeks ago in one of our tournaments, I ended up tied for first and had to go back out for a playoff to decide the winner. It had rained all day, so everything and everyone was soaked and cold. The last thing I wanted to do was have a playoff hole. So the hole we started on was a long downhill shot with a large evergreen tree right next to the basket. My competitor bombed his drive into that tree, and it fell right beside the evergreen, 5 feet from the basket. I conceded right then because I knew I couldn't reach the basket, but they talked me into playing the hole out, so I threw halfway down the fairway, threw my upshot within 12 feet of the basket, and put in my par. The other guy stood with his back up against this large evergreen and took his 5-foot putt. When he leaned forward for his putt, the branches nudged him just enough that he lost his balance and stepped just past his marker.
Oops.
He called the football on himself, which I seconded, so we tied and had to go to the next hole.
Right.
We ended up playing a 9-hole playoff.
Bro.
It took over an hour in the rain and cold, and when we got back up to the clubhouse, everyone else was gone except the tournament staff who forgot we were even still out there. My question is, what is the longest playoff each of you have ever been involved
Good
in?
question.
By the way, I lost on the 9th hole.
Dang it,
Oh,
man.
I think I know what Roberts is.
Yeah, mine was last year, 100%.
Yep.
I had
Country Classic Open or whatever.
Country Club Classic, yeah.
Country Classic.
Country Classic Open. Honestly, I don't
good.
know.
Coca-Cola
That's
Country
good.
Classic Open.
That's good.
I don't know what my longest one before that would have been though. Gosh, I honestly don't remember. Maybe a few holes.
I'll be honest, I don't have that many.
I did one of my
Oh,
first
I thought he
open
was
wins.
going somewhere else with that.
Sorry.
four.
I just remembered. I went one of my first open wins. I went into a playoff with Mike Olse, who's a course designer down in Texas, and that was a 4-hole playoff. But then Country Club Classic was 8 holes.
Yeah.
Quite the marathon.
Yeah, I haven't been in a lot of playoffs in my career, but I do have one that I remember vividly, and I don't like the outcome of it.
Rip.
It was the Capital City Classic or Shunga Days or something like that. It was in Topeka, right? And this was probably, I would guess, 2004-ish. We're just playing. I think it was just a C tier, B tier, something like that. Well, me and a guy named Shannon Carson ended up tying for first. and I think it was like 3 or 4 hole playoff. I don't remember how the length, but all I remember is I had a putt and I chained out on my putt, and I thought, whatever. You know, he had a difficult putt as well, so I wasn't thinking too much about it.
Right.
He putted super soft Omegas.
Yeah.
Stuck in the side of the basket.
No way.
Beat me because it used to count to stick in the side of the
brutal.
basket. So he putted, stuck in the side, ran up, grabbed it, and I'm like, I just lost a tournament on a low putt. My putt hit chains, didn't stick.
Yeah.
And he is rewarded with the W for a low putt.
That
was my most brutal.
That's
playoff.
rough.
Yeah.
I was playing with a guy, this was a while back, who got 2 aces in a day. And he wasn't that good, but he thought he was awesome, right? And so he hit one off of a tree into the basket. And then we were playing the second round together. He was telling us about this ace, and we were like, dude, that's cool, you know. But he was being a little kind of butthead about it. And he stuck.
Is this Zach Melton?
This was Zach Melton. That's right. Thank you. No, this was long before I knew Zach. And he stuck one in the side of the basket, and they like just jumped up and celebrated. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the best." I was like, "Dude, come on, man."
And we can't.
Did he win though?
In the round?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought you said he won in the playoff.
This is not a playoff. This was just a
this
stick in the
is
side of the basket.
Single
Oh,
side
I'm
of the
sorry.
basket. And we can't mention playoffs without mentioning the most epic playoff in disc golf history, in my opinion.
Yeah, was it 03?
Yeah,
USDGC?
I think so. I was there. I witnessed it. I watched it. And granted, back then, hole 1 and hole 17, the 2 holes that they played, were the easiest holes of all time.
So they just went.
Hole 1 was the biggest gap down the hill. Hit the gap, boom. 17 used to be
Thank you, Danny.
the easiest hole ever.
Our camera's going in and out of focus. Continue.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Hole 17's green used to be super easy. You used to play along the water, and the circle or the OB line rather, the green itself was the size of the circle, so it was massive. It was the easiest thing to hit in the world. But then 18 was always difficult, and they 3'd it each time. You know, I think it went 12 holes, if I recall. It went around a few times. They played those 3 holes, but I remember being there and watching that, and that was the most epic playoff I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
All right. So now the thing about playoffs, now 9-hole playoff, how I was reading some stuff. How long did that playoff last? The one that was 1 in 17?
Mine?
No, the
USDGC.
I think 12 holes is what I want to say.
Really long, yeah.
and they only played 2 holes?
3.
Oh, 3
They played
holes?
1, 17, 18.
And
That
it
loop.
lasted for 12?
But like I said, 2 of the holes are the easiest holes, and they're just going to birdie it every time. And
Sorry.
then the 3rd hole was 18, the traditional 18.
Right. And that kind of comes to my point is that if you're going to go to a playoff, it might be, for the sake of time, might be best to change your holes up so that there is a challenge.
True.
Because I know that's what
what the challenge
happened
was with Roberts.
Yeah.
Right.
Because 1 and 7 are
Pretty easy
arguably
birdies.
2 of the easiest birdies on the course.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a par 5 and a par 4.
Right. And after, 3 times around?
3 times around.
Finally someone said...
we went birdie, par. We both parred 7.
Both kind of had
Putts that
were
but
awful.
yeah, not good ones. We don't have to elaborate on it. But then,
that one was awful.
dude, I was just trying to get it to the basket. The wind got under
I know,
it.
but it was right.
Were you in the
man.
playoff? Thank you.
Oh, that's
I
great.
kind of was after you threw
weren't.
that bad shot.
Come on, man. Anyway, but then we birdied the next 4 in a row, just back and forth, 1-7, 1-7.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was time to switch it up.
So yeah, if you're ever in that situation, you ever have a say, you might suggest that you pick out holes that are challenging.
Well, yeah, good separator holes. Like
Right.
when we got to the island, you're almost positive that's going to end the tournament. You know?
Yeah, of course.
All right, this one is from Chris. Hey, disc golf fans, Chris from Kansas City, Kansas area. I just recently had shoulder surgery, labrum tear with a rotator cuff repair.
Labrum is the word that you're looking for.
I was wondering if the pronunciation I was looking for.
Right.
I was wondering if you guys had any experience with or thoughts on recovery and getting back into the game. Obviously, listening to my doctor and therapist has to not re-hurt my arm.
Right.
I would suggest you listen to your doctor and your therapist.
Yeah. At the end of the day, none of us are doctors. All of us have come back from injuries in one way or another, but I mean, it took me a lot longer to get back than I thought, and mine was a knee surgery. So yeah.
Would you suggest that patience is probably the best thing here?
Definitely.
Because
rehab is king. Do that. Make sure
Right.
that you get it everything strengthened again, but don't push it. Don't get back out there until it's 100% even like past ready, you know?
Correct.
getting out there 1 week, 2 weeks too soon is not worth months of
Yeah.
aggravating your
aggravating
injury.
what happened.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Let's see. Blake R asks, my question is about GBO and how you manage the divisions. I noticed some pretty highly ranked players in the AM1 division. Do you have a rating cutoff with it being such a prestigious event? I always hear talk of players playing down, and I'm curious to know of the safeguards put in place by TDs to prohibit this. What are some things you would do to address something like this, or can you? Is it all about accepting cash?
Yeah, I mean, there's no cap on what your rating can be in advanced. You could be a 10, 20 rated advanced player as long as you didn't move up.
As long as you didn't accept cash.
Accept cash, yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
So that's not a, and we can't change that because it's an NT, right?
No, you can't. You
It's
can't.
not an NT, technically.
Yeah,
oh, it's the A tier side.
NTs
Yeah, that's
are
right.
only
right. That's
FPO,
true.
MPO, FPO. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Even no, you couldn't change it,
Right.
no matter what size tournament it is.
So it'd have to
Those
be
are
the
the rules.
PDGA making a change for us to follow.
to
So,
cap
yeah.
it. But then you can't force someone to play for cash if they don't want to.
But if you're 1,000 rated
Yeah,
playing AM,
yeah.
the public is going to shame you.
Like,
Sure.
Come on,
So,
man.
I mean,
Now he didn't say what the ratings were on there, but I was just using that as an example.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. The next one from SpeakPipe is from Matt.
How's it going? Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. Eric, you're probably not there, McCabe.
No, he is.
I am.
And Robert, your hair's almost as good as mine, McCall.
Oh,
I had a question for you.
100%
hair off.
So recently at a tournament I was playing in, the course was pretty backed up, so we stayed right on top of the group in front of us. A lot of times we would have to wait on the tee pad and watch them finish the hole. Well, it appeared to us they were throwing a lot of out of bounds, missing a lot of putts, just a bunch of bad shots, and weren't having the overall best rounds. Well, after the scores were turned in, the three guys on that card had the hot rounds of the day. And I wasn't keeping their scores individually, but there's no way they shot as low as they said they did. Is there any way to go about reporting this, or who should you contact? Thanks. Have a good day.
Have you had that happen?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. But I'll be honest, when I'm playing a tournament, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to other people's score, what they're shooting. Like, I know if I'm playing, like if Robert and I are playing a tournament together, I know he's playing well. I just don't know what his exact score is. I barely even know what my exact score.
I try to not know.
Half
my
the
score.
time I'll get like, let's see, I'm at if I finish, I'll shoot. You know, I can't even keep track of my own score, let alone other people's. And what do you do in this situation? This is the toughest situation ever because you don't want to just go to the TD and say, hey, these guys cheated, or I think these guys cheated.
Right.
You know, it's almost better to do the gentleman thing and approach the players and
Yeah,
ask them,
just
are you
ask.
sure that this is what you shot? Because
Right.
or I didn't think you were playing that hot. I thought you were
Yeah.
closer to this. You know, something along those lines. You don't necessarily just want to go straight to a TD and call somebody out, in my opinion.
I agree. If there is a hole, I mean, the only really recourse that you could take is if you're 100% confident without counting up their score, but
Yeah.
if you're waiting on them on every single tee box because they're having a tough round and throwing out of bounds and stuff like that, yeah, I guess you could ask the TD maybe if you could see their scorecard. If you remember like a hole that somebody went OB 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
and they wrote down a 4, well, that's impossible.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, here's actually the easiest thing that you
But yeah.
could possibly do is have a scorecard of your own, write everybody's name down it, and you also keep score.
Yep.
You keep score for the whole group, even if you're not, you know, when it's your turn to keep score, you do the same. But
Right.
keep a separate scorecard with everybody's score on it. That'll keep everybody honest. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion to you, so you don't have to at the end of the day go to him and
Right.
say, "Are you sure you did
Yeah.
that? I mean, look, this is what I got for you. You know, just hey, this is what I got for everybody. Hey, they match up. Boom, let's go."
Yeah.
You know?
I think the difficulty though is that this one's on a different card.
That I didn't hear.
Yeah, so there's 3 people out in front of
Okay,
them who were having pretty tough rounds, and they came
see,
in with the 3
I see.
hot rounds.
I didn't hear that part. I apologize.
It's all good. So yeah, I would certainly ask those guys, kind of like you said, hey,
yeah.
that's cool. I didn't know you were shooting that well. And usually, most disc golfers are like this, where they want to give you a recap of their round when they shot hot. You know, and if you saw some of that stuff go wrong, maybe it'd be worth talking to the TD. But I don't. Without counting their score, it's hard to say. You could officially say no, you didn't do that.
I just wish that, and it's more. It is more difficult to do it this way, but I used to love a couple of events. Maybe it's USDGC that did it, where I keep your score, you keep his score, he keeps his score, he keeps my score, and you keep your score at the bottom. It's just so easy. It's so awesome. I wish I almost wish that the PDGA would just say, hey, this is how it's going to work from now on.
Everybody keeps somebody else's.
Everybody else keeps someone else's and your own.
Yep.
And then you check at the end and
You
make
keep
sure
yours and theirs.
that. I really like that idea.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to remind everybody that the Glassbone Open is coming up, and we have some awesome media ready for it. I was talking to Steve Hill, and I believe this is the most televised, no, the most covered event in that we'll have Smashbox covering MPO1 and FPO1. And
Live
then,
every day.
And then live every day of the round. And then we will have Jomez Pro producing coverage for MPO1, MPO2, and FPO1. So we've got them. They've got a huge crew coming out to take care of that.
Sick.
Then we've got Parsave Productions going to follow FPO2, so we're going to have tournament coverage on that. And then we have our very own Anthony and Danny are going to be covering MPO3.
Have they got a name yet?
Disc golf.
Oh yeah, what do we call them?
Disc golf answer, D'Anthony.
That's perfect.
Nailed it.
D'Anthony. Did we just
D'Anthony.
call it D'Anthony Productions?
Yeah.
No, they've been honing their skills as far as tournament coverage, and they are going to bring it to the big stage with the Glassbone Open. Of course, they brought it to the big stage in Memorial, but
Yeah, if you haven't
this
checked
is
their
the
stuff out,
Glassbone Open.
honestly, 100%. You know, these guys are my friends, but if their stuff was bad, I would be like, hey, I'm just not going to say anything about it. But the quality of what they're producing is fantastic.
It is so good. I would never say that to their face. But
Yeah.
it is so good.
She's
Why
a
would
very
you say
she's a
that to
very
her
good person and a talented artist.
I really watched that episode a couple nights ago.
No, 100%. They're knocking it out of the park. So that's going to be good stuff.
Yeah, so at glassboneopen.com, you'll see, I believe it's called Watch GBO is the menu item, and it'll have, I'm going to start putting out links to that way you can keep apprised about everything that's happening at Glassbone Open. And I'll also be doing my normal vlogs where I'll show you guys the non-tournament stuff, the non-disc golf stuff, all the stuff happening at Glassbone Open. So super excited about that.
Can't believe it's already almost here.
And in
Yeah,
fact, we
it's
had our
crazy.
meeting. We had our little media meeting this morning talking about what we're going to cover and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so next question comes from Felix. Yes, sir.
We got some ratings to update at some point, by the way. Once you said something about Anthony, I remembered y'all's ratings challenge. There was an update yesterday.
Yes, I have
We
that.
can
I have one of
get
my
to it.
tabs up here ready to talk about here. Next one is Felix. He's going to say he's going to ask hypothetical question. Hypothetical. Say I play my first event in intermediate and I play really well, and my rating is over 935. Okay. Does this mean I have to play the next tournament at advanced, even if I don't think my rating after more events will be that high?
Yes. Your rating is the number that they use to decide those things. If you're over 935, you may not play intermediate. Plain and simple.
I mean, that's pretty much cut and dry, isn't it?
It is.
Next one is from Dougie Fresh. Wiki.
The Dougie Fresh?
Yeah. Crocs Dougie Fresh?
No, the rapper.
The rapper Dougie Fresh.
You're talking about DJ Jazzy Jeff? Is that who you're talking about?
It's you're too young.
I'm joking, dude. Come on.
This one says, from y'all's experience and knowledge of the mechanics, what are some pros and cons, similarities and differences between a wide rail reach back versus a straight back reach back, i.e. Doss, Johansson, Macbeth, Melton, Oakley versus Lazat, McMahon, Schuster, Pierce, and McCall? In creating the snap for a faster...
I've never thought about which way my reach back is going to be.
In creating the snap for a faster whip pop spin at release for best power and control. Also, have you all seen the ISO baseball YouTube videos about the whip effect similarities between sports?
No, I haven't seen those. You seen those?
No.
So talking about reach back, I would say my understanding of how those are different is basic at best, right? I think when people talk about reach back and when they talk about wide rail, a lot of times you're really talking more about the pull through than you are the reach back. I would say, I mean, they go hand in hand, but yeah, the pull through is the one that is more often described as wide rail. That's correct.
Sure.
The what? The like kind of show me because
So
I'm trying to figure out myself.
so reach back. Most everybody reaches back the same way.
And
right?
because I always think straight back.
Yeah, but
What's wide rail mean? What does it
so
mean when you say wide rail?
when you're throwing wide rail, it's keeping your arm a little bit farther away from your body.
I think Danny wanted me to try that.
Yeah, but all that to say, I think that there's some people that work better with it and some that don't. Ultimately, if you know which one you want to try out, try it out. There's nothing that's hurting you from trying it out. I would say with the people that you mentioned, Nate Doss, Michael Joe, Eric Oakley, and then on the other side, Simon Eagle, myself. I usually get paired in with them.
Of course,
when people are talking about disc golf. All those, obviously excepting me, can throw super far using their own style and strategy. So I would try out both. I know that Danny has talked a little bit about that. So if you want to check out Danny Lindahl's videos on YouTube, he'd probably give you a little bit more detailed
videos.
Or tomorrow, tune into Disc Golf Management on Instagram on IGTV.
Oh, or tune in.
Answering this actual question.
Oh,
sweet.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. IGTV.
Smashbox exclusive. No, not Smashbox.
Dang it. Yeah. Instagram TV, Danny's going to answer that question exactly. So tune in. That's the time.
Yeah, so go to Dynamic Discs Instagram and make sure you find the IGTV channel. And there's
IGTV.
actually there's probably about 10 or 12 out there right now. You can go back and watch him answering specific questions on form from the show. So I tried the wide rail. Now, I probably needed to try it more and do it, but it felt like it gave me more spin, more power.
Yeah.
But then
Less
I lost
consistency?
control of the release,
Yep.
and that was frustrating.
I don't think I
With-
just throw.
With anything, yeah.
Honestly,
some-
I mean,
Well, I know, but it'd be interesting
to an
to-
extent.
now that I'd like to see your throw. Now thinking of the rail and the straight back,
Yeah.
because I was watching a few after you told me that. I watched a few other people's throw, and I thought, well, they reach straight back, and they still do it. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out my thing. So
Right. I would say, kind of going along with what Eric's saying, though, the less you can think while throwing, the better.
Exactly.
You just want muscle memory to take over. And I would say, kind of in response to what you were saying about trying out wide rail throw and other throws and stuff like that, if it doesn't work at first, that's natural.
sure, I get that.
But I think there are a lot of people who try something new in their form, try a different footwork or try reaching back farther. And then when they reach back farther, they don't hit their lines as accurately. And so after, a day or two of trying it, they're like, oh, this is bad. No, it's not bad. It's just that you're learning a new skill that requires some adjustment.
No, it's not bad. You're just bad.
No, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
My problem is that I would try it in casual where it didn't matter, and then I would never go out and practice, and then I'd say, oh, let me try a couple at the bag tags, and then I'd get mad and be like, okay, this is stupid. I'm not going to do this in bag tag.
Well, yeah, you got to do it in practice. That's the best way to learn.
I don't want to walk away. I don't want to go from the number 62 tag to the number 65 tag.
I know, unbelievable.
I got to save my
In
reputation
65-mile-an-hour wind tonight.
here. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to play tonight.
Yeah,
That's
speaking of
so
tonight,
frustrating.
I will be at home
45 plus gusts.
I
gusts.
need to practice
for
Pan,
Jibo.
though, for Jibo for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it could be.
Is that what it is tonight? Pan again?
Yeah, it's at Pan tonight.
Wow.
I think it's too.
I
don't
played
know why
tags
he
twice
didn't
and it's been at Pan.
I don't know why he's not doing East yet. But
Did you say Panda Night?
Panda night?
Panda Express tonight?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Next question comes from Richard. Hi, guys. What would be a trilogy alternative to an Innova Polecat?
Ooh,
Don't think we have anything exactly like that.
pole cats.
If you've never used the polecat, it looks a lot like a beach frisbee, straight down on the sides, pretty deep dish.
The only thing
You
I
don't
can
have
think
anything.
of would be a latitude bite.
That's what
And
I'd say.
it is
It's
PDGA
wider.
approved.
Oh, yeah.
It's a much wider diameter, but the feel is probably going to be the closest.
Would the flight be similar?
Probably not.
No,
I think a polecat's going to be more overstable and slower.
and much slower. Yeah, yeah. The bite has kind of that fastback rim on it, and the polecat is just straight flat, or slightly domed on the top, but definitely doesn't have the grooves or the
I
rise
don't know if
up
the
on it.
polecat has a groove.
I don't think it does. I think it's
Oh,
just.
you were talking about the bite. Okay.
Yes, I was talking about the
okay,
bite. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, next one is from Jake from Cleveland.
Hey, Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. Eric, the Champ McCabe,
Ooh, beetle. That might be
and
I thought about
Robert,
that too.
the Hair McCall.
Is the beetle approved?
I'm looking
Okay.
to replace 2 discs in my bag that I've recently lost. One being the ESP Flash for a forehand. 2 being the Z Predator for a backhand. I'm looking strictly for dynamic discs. I've got about a 280-foot forehand
Me too.
and about a 310-foot backhand.
Also me too.
If you guys could help me out with that, that would be great. Thank you.
And go.
I'm gonna defer to you.
I used to love the Flash. Like when the Flash first came out, it was one of the best
Master of the Universe?
flying drivers that I've ever thrown.
Yeah.
Like long. It was like one of those when like bigger rims were starting to hit the scene.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Now, as far as a disc to replace it, that's tough.
Strictly DD.
Strictly DD, that's even tougher. I would say the closest I could think of off the top of my head would be a Captain.
Okay.
I think the Captain is going to be a touch less stable, maybe even an Escape. It's not going to feel the same, but it's going to have that similar flight.
Cool.
And what was the other disc? Again?
Predator.
Oh, a Pred.
They're see-through plastic.
Z Pred.
There it is.
Z Predator, man, that's another great
Didn't you
disc.
used to throw that one a lot?
I
the
did.
Predator?
I used to throw the
Remember
Z Pred a lot. And then when I was throwing it, I had one that was nice and a little bit more beat in that would get more hyzer out of or flip up and fly a little bit straighter. But there's a couple discs that come to mind for the Z Pred. Felon, obviously. I think the Felon's going to be a little bit more overstable than the Z Predator.
Not quite as deep, right?
Yes, correct. Not quite as deep. The Predator does have a little bit more of a dome to it, so my suggestion would be pick up a Paige Bjerkes Lucid X Getaway to replace that Pred. Because the Preds, at least the Preds I was throwing were a little bit more, I could put pop on it and it would fly relatively straight and always dump left, but those Getaways are, especially the Lucid X Bjerkes ones, are really nice.
They feel good and they're stable.
They're beef, so that's why I think that would be exactly what you're looking for.
Nice.
There you go, folks. All right, we'll take one more question from SpeakPipe, and then we will do some YouTube stuff. So YouTube, go ahead and push your question. No, I'm sorry. We're going to do SpeakPipe, then we're going to talk about some ratings, and then we're going to talk about Skip Ace and Disc Golf Fantasy, Disc Golf Pro Tour. Then we will go over to YouTube. So if you got questions, start thinking what you want them to be on YouTube, and then we're actually going to do something different.
I'm ready.
Not quite different. We won't feel like. Anyway, I'm going to record the after show. Okay. And I'm going to release it separately on the podcast.
Oh, cool.
Audio. So I'm going to still record it.
Okay.
So if our audio listeners want to hear us I'm going to warn you now, it may or may not be disc golf related. So that's why I'm going to make it separate. So if someone's like, you know what, I don't really care that they are excited about Game of Thrones. I don't care that they watch The Office. I don't care if they eat tacos.
Why wouldn't you care that we watch The Office?
Then you don't have to listen to that part of the weekly episode. You can only listen to the disc golf part. And actually the first 10 minutes you can skip of all the episodes. Anyway. Anyway, here's Shay Stevens' questions. Here we go.
What's up, D-Game crew? This is Shay from Philly. First, Bobby, now that you have finally fulfilled your obligation to Robert, I would like to officially declare my support and membership on Team Bobby. Go Bobby, beat Tony.
Yes.
Second, I wanted to get your guys' take on something.
Although,
since the rule for foot faults has changed from a warning to an immediate penalty stroke, I feel like I am seeing less infractions being called despite some pretty flagrant offenses. I'm guessing people are afraid, instant penalty stroke, there's no real warning, just bam, you're hit with it. And I feel like it's kind of hurting the integrity of the sport a bit. I want to get your guys' take on the rule change now that's been in effect for over a year and see what you think. Thanks again, and as always, keep it real.
say again now, the rule again, what's the rule change?
The rules change now. It used to be when a foot fault is called, then it's a warning first, and then subsequent foot faults would be a penalty stroke per.
And it had to be seconded.
Yep. Now
every
it's
time.
Yep. Now it is first offense is penalty stroke, and you play the shot that you threw. Yeah. So
but
if
it
I
also
was
has to be seconded.
Yeah, correct.
And you can't call it on yourself.
Right. So for the guy who was talking about he threw the drive into the tree and it sat right there, it was like 5 feet away, and he putted in and fell forward.
Right.
He made the putt, but since he fell forward, the stroke counts, but he gets a penalty stroke, so he still got a 3.
So what are you guys' thoughts on it?
What do you think?
I don't know, honestly. And I'll be honest, when I was out traveling, playing on tour and all that, I never saw foot faults. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
You
never
never saw them? Or
I
do you
never
think
saw
they're-
people call other people on foot faults. Occasionally, yeah, you would see it every now and then. I've called a guy on a foot fault before. I felt really bad about it. It was at USDGC. He foot faulted, and then he foot faulted again, and then again, and again. But I mean, at some point when you're doing it blatantly, you know. Okay,
Right.
here's the story. Here's the situation.
Ready.
Majority of the time, if I'm playing with somebody, and typically it's not like another touring player.
Yeah, just like a guy.
That's having foot fault issues.
guy.
You know what I mean? So like if I'm playing with, we'll say Robert, but it's not Robert, it's somebody else who's fresh on the tour or whatever, and I see him constantly like foot faulting, like maybe missing his mini by a little bit, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll say something to him.
That's
I'll say, hey,
usually
dude,
what I do, yeah.
you know, hey, just watch your foot. This is kind of like my friend warning to you, so to speak.
Yeah.
I
Although
won't
we are
call
not
it.
friends.
I'm not going to call it, but you will be absolutely playing with somebody that will.
Yes.
Just be careful.
Yes.
The only time, and here's another thing on foot faults. If it's a putting foot fault, I will tell them before they putt. Like if they're straddle out, I'll say, hey, your left foot, you might want to move that back a little bit, just so they're not. I hate that when people are
they just
staring
wait
out,
and
just
stare.
waiting, they're
Yes.
just drooling,
Just say
waiting,
something
and as
to
soon
them.
as the putt comes out, foot fall. I hate
Right.
that. Like, come on.
It's different if they fall forward because there's nothing you can do about that. But
Yeah.
if they're setting up,
If I can see
do
it,
the right thing and
Yeah.
just say something to them,
Yeah.
please.
yeah. So I
Anyway,
don't.
go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't see a whole lot of it, and obviously I don't see any of it now because I don't play tournaments anymore. And when I do, I play awful bad. But so yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think too many people just care about foot faults, or they're like me, and I'm not paying any attention to what you're doing. I'm more focused on my game and what
Right.
I'm doing, and I'm not sitting here to babysit you and making sure your foot is where
Right.
it needs to be
Right.
on an approach. Plus, I don't care if you think you have an advantage. Now, if you're by a tree
Yeah.
and you're trying to sneak out a little bit wider, that's different than being in the middle of a wide open fairway and missing your mini by
Right.
or stepping on your mini or whatever. Sure, it's the rules, but it also puts me in a bad place and gets me in a bad headspace having to call somebody out.
Right.
So
That's whether it was a warning or a stroke
yeah,
or not.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I just whatever.
Yeah.
That's me.
I would say I call foot faults equally as much now as I did before,
Mm-hmm.
even with the rule change, and it's not very much. The reason is I don't see people do them a whole lot, but most of the time when I have called them before, it's because the player knew it too.
Yeah.
So I've called them a couple of times on, like a player took a knee and was putting and putted and
Was
just
it during the national anthem?
put their no.
Okay.
Come on, man. Anyway, they put their hand down in front of the disc after
Yeah,
they let it
yeah.
go, like
Fell forward.
yeah, and so
Falling putt more so than a foot fall.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, they looked over and I was like, I mean, we have to call a foot fault. And they're
Yeah.
like,
Well,
I
yeah. When you make
understand.
eye contact, and it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like, come on.
yeah.
But as far as throwing ones go, I haven't called a whole lot of those, but I also haven't seen a whole lot. I have
Sure.
done, like when you said, if I thought somebody's foot was close,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe an inch or two off, I'll go to them and just say, hey, I'm not sure if this was a foot fault or not. I just want to let you know that this is what I saw.
Yeah.
So just something to be aware of. And there's a lot of people, kind of like you were talking about in an open field versus a tree. There's behind a tree. There's a lot of people who will make the argument that if you're in an open field, it shouldn't really matter where your feet land as long as you're still behind your lie. But yes, if it's 3 feet, it's not going to change your drive a whole lot. But
3 feet is a lot.
yes, yeah. But I'm saying, like, compare your 400-foot drive to your 403-foot drive. That part is not different. What is different is everybody has to pay attention to hitting the same spot. And that person who's just kind of throwing 3 feet behind their lie or a couple feet, they have less mental hindrance. So they're more free to throw like an easier shot. So that's why I say, like, yeah, I think they're both bad. I would go to the person first, unless it was just egregious, like, you know, a few feet off.
Right.
Then I'm going to have to call it.
Yep. Yep. I'd agreed.
All right, so PDJ recently updated the ratings for everybody. I am sad to report that my rating went down.
Dang it, man.
3 points.
That's nothing.
What'd you go to?
Oh,
Uh-oh,
I
wait,
am at a.
Hold on. We'll get to
Okay,
that.
all
What
right.
did you go to?
All right.
I went to 804.
804.
I
Okay,
was
so
807.
still above 800, which was last year you were in the 700s.
Correct.
For part of the year.
Now, granted, there's only been one event that's
Right.
counted, obviously, because I hadn't played anything most of last year, if any, last year. So it's the Monkey Island Open, where I knew I did bad. So obviously, it's early in the year in the sense that to where I'm going to be playing some more events. Now, I do have a thing going with Anthony that
Ooh, Team Tony, Team
that I
Bobby.
wanna, we're trying to see who can
Hey,
reach our
Tony.
goal.
What'd you do, Tony?
He went up 4 points from 908 to 912.
Oh, boy, there you go, dude.
So he's in the
Sweet.
19s.
He's on the up and up.
Yeah, so
he's
he
not in
did-
the 19s, but
Oh, not the 19s. Yes.
no, the 19s, because 13 is the first 19.
True.
In age, or even if you're saying teens.
It's the word teen that makes it teens.
Yeah.
You're
12.
teen.
Yeah, 12 is not a teen.
12 teen. I say 12 teen, 11
Do
teen,
you?
12 teen,
Do
13.
you say that?
Yes.
That's weird. I've never
That's
heard
how
you
we
say
say
that
in
before.
Spanish. If you knew Spanish at all, maybe.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's Portuguese.
That's 100% not right. Spanish. Never mind. Continue.
He's really close to being a teenager.
Most people say once,
Doce,
teen,
catorce.
doce, teen.
Teen.
That's what they say.
I know. I'm just playing.
Trece.
Jeez.
See,
Teen.
I'm masking my.
See?
I am masking my ignorance with
I'm joking.
comedy.
I'm joking.
Everything. That's
Proceed.
what I've done from beginning since I was a child.
speaking of comedy,
Oh, yeah, speaking of comedy.
Rolling it back. Anyway.
So Anthony did well at Monkey Island Open, which helped
Nice.
him there. So now, Robert, you it also went up, right? Correct? No.
No,
Oh.
I stayed the same, and I'm fortunate to stay the same because I played relatively poorly to my standards at Monkey Island.
Oh, okay.
Went
So
10,
yours didn't change at all?
10:04 is where I stayed. I went 10. It was 10:20, 960 something, and they both. The first round changed down, and the second one changed up. So it's like 10 teens. There you go. And 970 something was
Solid.
what Monkey Island was. But for some reason, I think I dropped similar ratings from last year.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I stayed at 10:04.
Nice.
I'm pleased to do that for sure because that was not a
Sure.
good tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you do, Eric?
Pretty
I just
awful.
looked it up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I am at a
Uh-oh.
career low.
Oh, no.
Well, I haven't played anything.
No,
for
well,
that.
yeah.
And then I played Monkey Island, and I
Replaces all that.
played some of the worst disc golf
Yeah,
I've
you-
played, and I
you
don't know
struggled
how
for
long
yours, for
at
sure.
Monkey Island, and I dropped 11 points.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 11
That's hateful, dude.
point. I'm at 10:03 now,
Oh,
which
no.
is weird for me
Yeah.
because I've always been
10 teens or higher.
10:10, 10:20 at one point. 10:30 was the highest I've
Yeah.
been,
Sick.
Oh my gosh!
but
The last time you were below 10:03.
Oh, it has to
was-
be forever ago.
no, it never. I've never been under 1,000 rated technically, because the rating system when the
Oh, they
rating system
changed.
first came out,
Yeah.
I was over 1,000 rated. Sure, they go back now
Sure.
and tell you your old ratings, but there was never a rating
In 2004, you were 1,001, 1,000, and then 1,006, and then it always. Oh no, you were 1,003 in 2005.
system. Okay. Yeah.
But then from there it was 1,001 in 2005 still.
But
then
after
from
that,
there-
I
then
don't,
after
I
that,
don't, I
it's-
don't recall when the rating system actually
Right.
begun, but
But yeah, you're right. You've never been
never been that low, which is
1031. Is that what you said already?
1031. I think is the highest. I've ever
1031
been.
looks like.
That's sick, man.
Yeah, but you like.
And then
we've-
just
yeah,
which is fine. I mean,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
played
you're
one tournament,
shifting.
played like garbage. I don't really care. I've always been the guy that I don't really care about ratings.
That's true.
A rating doesn't tell you how good of a player you are. It kind of tells you what you've done, not what you're currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, and
Yeah.
I've got GBO coming up. I've got majors coming up that I'm sure if I even play decent at,
Yeah, you'll shoot right back
So
up there.
it doesn't-
100%.
see, Wildcat said he just turned 35 teen years old.
35 years.
35 teen years old.
So, let us know in the YouTube comments how you did.
Yeah.
Real quick, how you felt you did. So anyway, so that's the ratings update from PDGA. Some good news, some bad news, and some
Just news.
Yeah.
and just some news.
Mine was just news.
It's just news.
Tony was some good news.
Tony.
Tony with the
Ah,
good
in the
news.
green.
Hey.
How about Danny? What's Danny?
Oh yeah, Danny,
How'd
how'd you
Danny
do?
do?
I dropped 4 points.
Dang
Danny
it.
dropped 4 points.
Highest rated round ever this update, so I knew it was going to go down.
Oh, you
Yeah.
dropped your highest rated one? Yeah. Dang it.
Alright, so he went down. All right, let's talk some fantasy disc golf. First
Let's.
of all, so let's go to Disc Golf Pro Tour. And we'll go Disc Golf Pro Tour /fantasy. And then we will answer the. Oh, this is the one we don't want people to know, right?
What?
The
Disc Golf Pro Tour is the
right,
one we don't want
because we're
people to know.
battling the way, yeah. Whereas this one isn't. Okay, so we won't go over. But do know that we are in the fantasy disc golf for Disc Golf Pro Tour. Go to dgpt.com/fantasy. Follow the form. Answer the questions. If you do better than us, then Disc Golf Pro Tour will send out a prize to you.
If history tells
select
us
them.
anything, you will
A
probably
lot
do
of
better
people
than
will
us.
be eligible.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the skipace.com, Johnny V's setup, this is one we're okay for you guys to know because it's really based on play. But anyway, so looking back at Nick Hyde, we did horrible.
Yeah, we
ranked
struggled.
That's because I
332.
wasn't here to pick.
That's true.
Thank you.
You wouldn't have picked Toby Sipes.
Okay.
I don't know who
I'm
that
going
is.
Tobin Sipes.
Tobin.
Yes. Say who he picked last
Okay,
week, please.
Jobin.
Yes.
We picked Ricky Wysocki, James Conrad, Eric Oakley, and Tobin Sipes.
Okay.
I would have picked none of them.
Okay, that's
See?
fair. But all right, so we get through our first three, Ricky, James, Oakley, and all we're left with are players under 970 at the time. So Bobby's bagging on me because
So
I
literally
picked
could have
Tobin.
picked so many
and
more
I
other players.
I know Tobin.
How do you not go with Nolan Greider?
Nolan's pretty good.
How did he do?
I'm sure he did well.
He got third.
He's
Sorry.
good.
I would have suggested Nolan
Yeah.
Greider.
Sure,
Yeah,
it's
but-
all a pick.
But you can't.
I mean,
but you can't bag on the pick of Tobin because that's the points that we had left.
That's true.
I have the control of the mixer. I can bag whoever I want.
Whatever, dude.
So
You're just showing a poor understanding of the system, not that system, because you
did guys-
obviously
did you guys
know
pick,
that system.
Did you guys pick Eagle, or you didn't pick
No.
Eagle?
No, we took Ricky first.
I would have picked Eagle in that situation, just because he's hotter right now. Well, I guess to
Retros-
be fair, Ricky did win.
Hindsight is 2020.
Ricky did win
Texas State's.
Texas State's
Yeah.
his first win.
So those guys got us low points. Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen got us good points.
Yep.
And,
Solid. Two
so-
solid
Dude,
picks.
sick Eagle to win.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched that?
I watched it on her Instagram. I didn't get to watch it on any. Dude,
Yeah.
I don't eat.
Yeah. You don't get to watch it.
Well, no, not just that, but the fact that this isn't the podcast for it, so I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
We'll
That's
just
fair.
go on.
Is that for the after show?
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe.
Okay, cool.
Maybe.
All right.
Anyway,
so
sick Eagle. There were 7 Eagles on that hole.
Yeah.
All weekend.
I've
6
played,
by guys.
I've played a
one by.
hole, not that exact hole because it was off to the right.
Right,
So
yeah.
that course had been redesigned, but the tee shot executed to perfection.
Perfectly.
The second shot,
Mash.
amazing, and then the putt.
Yeah, you
just not just to get to that spot, but to actually
yeah,
finish and hit that 25
make
footer.
it count. That was sick.
Knowing that it's at that point, I think she knew it was for the win,
She'd have to, yeah.
or at least the tie. I don't know if
Right.
Katrina had putted yet or made a.
She had
whatever.
missed her 4th, yeah. So
So
she knew
it was for the win.
Yep.
So yeah,
Pretty sick,
which
man.
there's a little less in that situation. There's a little less stress on that putt, knowing that this
Sure.
is for the win. Because if I miss it, I'm gonna tie for the win.
Right.
And I wasn't anywhere in contention this whole tournament.
Right.
So a little bit less stress on that. Not that it takes anything away from the amazing
Yeah, that's
eagle.
nasty, dude.
Just props to Paige for that. That was sick.
100%.
all right. So random number generator here. We've got pages 1 through 7 that of people that beat us. So we're gonna do this total.
Pages 1 through
No,
7.
that's how many people. So 1 through
That's
7. We're gonna
great.
really make this totally random. So page 4.
All right.
Let's see if I can think this through well enough. And page 4. And then that looks like there is about 50 people per page. So we're going to put in 1 through 50. And then we hit number generator, number 31, the 31st person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Zach?
Melton.
Yeah, because he listens to the show and plays fantasy disc golf.
I'm going to guess on this last name because I'm sure I'm going to butcher it. Zach Piccione. Piccione.
Yeah, bet that's pretty close.
Piccione.
Yeah.
Piccione.
Yeah.
So, Zach Piccione, if you're watching, you are the winner. Send me a screenshot of you being logged into your skipace.com account, and I will send you out something from my goodie stash on my
bag.
shelf.
Goodie bag.
Yeah, so now let's go to the next event, which is coming up, which is the Jonesboro.
Got to pick him today.
Oh, yeah, today's the last day, so you need to go pick if you have not picked yet. Have you guys already looked at the lineup?
As we speak.
All right, so
Jonesboro is a bomber-friendly course.
Bomber friendly.
It's very, very, very long.
Yeah, so I feel like Eagle
Yep.
is a good pick. I mean, so it's Paul, though, so it's kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
But Eagle is a good pick because, I mean, you get 4 more points to play with.
Yeah, that's true. Dickerson has played well out there in the past.
Okay.
He's a robot out there.
Calvin is on top of his game right now.
Yep, I'd love to see Calvin do well out there. God, he's 1044 now. Oh
Yes.
my goodness!
I gave him some rating points.
You passed him along to him.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy.
Hey, I do what I do.
All right. What do you think? You want to say? You say Eagle?
Pick one. Let's go with Eagle.
Eagle. Okay, pick number 1 is Eagle. Pick
Okay.
number 2.
Pick number 2. I like Yuli's been playing really well lately too.
On Skip Ace, they're rated the same right now, Macbeth and Eagle. So we could pick
okay.
Macbeth at no cost right now. Well, not no cost, but same cost as Eagle. So it's just
it's a coin flip between those two, in my opinion.
Well, but you got to tell me.
I think Eagle is a good pick.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, are you both filling this?
I'm just doing it so we can see. And know how many points
Yeah,
we
I'm the
got
only
left.
one doing it officially.
I like Dickerson.
Yep.
Dickerson's a great pick as well.
Dickerson?
Dickerson.
Okay, I get to pick the third one.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
How many points do we have left? We have quite a bit.
Well, yeah, we have quite a bit, but we have 4 picks to spend in between.
Well, no, that's why I was trying to, in my thinking was that's what I was thinking. So you said it's a bomber course.
Very long course.
Very long course.
Yes.
Do we know anybody? Do we know like the top 3 from last year at all?
Yeah, we can look it up.
We can look.
Who?
Ricky
won last year?
Ricky did win last
Richard
year.
Wysocki.
In the snow.
Who was second and third?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Conrad was up in it.
Conrad's a good bomber. He hasn't done really well this year though. He hasn't.
Yeah.
He's had a tough start. So last
Oakley
year
got third last year.
Yep, last year first place, Rick, Garrett Girthy second place, Oakley third place. Colton Montgomery actually tied for third place as well, and he's playing better this year.
Where did
than he was
Oakley
last year.
place in Nick Hyde?
10th.
10th.
I think so.
Ninth?
Maybe that. Yeah,
Maybe,
that's right.
yeah.
And he's
Paul Macbeth didn't play well last year, so maybe he is the person to pick.
He's probably washed up.
Probably washed
Yeah, I think
up.
that's correct. Yep, Kevin
Kevin
Jones,
Jones was
13th
something I
last year.
saw,
Chris Dickerson actually finished 11th last year, so
I almost feel like Oakley. What's Oakley rated right now?
he's in the 10 teens on here, I bet.
He's in the 10-15.
Yep. That's solid.
That's a good amount. He seems to be doing fairly well. It feels like an improvement over last year.
He's definitely playing better than last year.
Let's pick Oakley in third.
I'm thinking he's like a not expensive safe pick as far as points. If that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
No,
I
does that
think
make
so.
sense at all? Is that any kind of logic?
It certainly makes sense.
All right.
And then a kind of a lower pick is what we're looking for now,
Yeah,
like
let's
a
see.
Nick Newton, or
Nick Newton's been
So
playing
we've
well.
got 28.99 left. Do we want to pick our FPOs?
well, we got Paige Pierce.
Okay.
I personally, I
think
think
that's
she would
worth
be one to
picking.
go for.
Okay. And then who for the ladies on?
That's bad.
We got Katrina Allen, Sarah Holcomb.
I picked
Ew.
page B just to see where it put us, and it leaves us with 989. So we probably need to pick a female
A lower
rated slightly
layer.
lower than Paige.
What's Paige?
Rebecca
Bierkus?
Cox is a great one. Granted, she's only
946.
yeah, that's
5
still
points
some
lower.
points.
That leaves us 994 for our last pick.
Missy Gannon.
Ooh, Missy has been playing well.
Yep.
She won an A tier this weekend.
Yep. Missy Gannon.
That leaves us 1028 to work with.
Missy Gannon.
What is Missy rated?
Missy's rated 905.
Okay, so I was thinking Madison, but that would still leave us. All right, so Missy Gannon will be in here. She'll be
And then
our.
who is?
Trying to get back to this year's list to make sure that both of them are playing. I'm sure they are.
Well, they should be if they're on the.
I thought Johnny had it worked out where this
Does he?
only gets fed what's officially
who's
on
playing, I
PDGA.
thought.
Okay,
yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah,
understanding.
they're both playing.
All right, 1028 is what we have left, gentlemen.
Johnny's
Johnny's played well out there. Oh, I already got out of
Yeah, that's all right.
a few years ago. Philo, AB,
AJ's not a bad
Feldberg,
pick.
Chandler Fry, Austin
This is on
Hannum.
Skip Ace Austin.
Yeah.
I would say Austin's a great pick. Actually.
Austin Hannum?
Yeah, he mashes.
I'm good with that.
Who? Say again,
Austin
Austin.
Hannum.
Austin.
1023.
1023. He is our pick. All right, we've got pick 1, Eagle McMahon. Pick 2, Chris Dickerson. Pick 3, Eric Oakley. Pick 4, Austin Hannum. Paige Pierce for the ladies, and Missy Gannon for pick 2. What is our alternate for MPO?
Nate Perkins. 1013.
Yep.
Nate
Perks.
and
That's a very valuable alternate pick.
Mm-hmm.
who's our alternate for the female? Hannah?
Maybe
That
Cynthia.
or Christina?
Cynthia would be cool.
Oh, Ricciotti?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ricciotti?
Ricciotti.
Ricciotti.
It's Ricciotti.
Oh, you had that sass to it like I did it wrong.
No.
That leaves us with 5 points left.
That's all right.
Does that make us want to change anything?
That means we get to use those next week.
Correct. Or we can
Right? That's how it works.
Yeah, you can roll
they're-
them
Are they
over.
rollovers?
they're like Shroot bucks.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So we're good with that?
I'm good with
I'm
that.
hitting save picks. 3,
Why don't you want
2,
Why don't you want Shroot Bucks?
1. Save picks. All right, there you guys. So a couple people are asking on YouTube. This is at skipace.com. You join. You can sign up with your Facebook account or just an email account, depending on how you prefer. You can then go to League, join League, and type in DGAM to find us. DGAM to get into our league. And if you beat us, then we pick from you to see if you will win prizes. So
There
make
is
sure
somebody
Bobby,
that
we've got to
we
pick. We need
forgot
to
about
switch.
the fourth.
We've got to
fourth
pick. We
spot.
need to switch.
who.
We want to switch Austin Hannum for Double G. He got second out there last year.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And he is playing well right now.
Yeah,
he
he's
had a
killing it this
great,
year.
Mr.
Nick
Garrett
Hyde. He played well at Nick
Girth.
Hyde,
Mhm,
right?
sure
yeah.
did.
Oh, that still gave us 5 points.
And he smashes.
Well, yeah, they're rated the same on there right now.
He smashes if it's a bomber course.
Yes, he kills it out there.
All right.
Anybody
so
play well in the snow?
What about
Eagle Dickerson?
Mailbox 37 said, "What about Stanley Nichols? I'll
Oakley,
give you a
Girthy.
billion Stanley
Oh,
Nichols.
All right,
man.
we are solid and in there.
We solid.
All right, guys. So that's all is that it, right? Yeah, that's all the
it.
time we have for the regular show. Thanks for hanging with us as we do our Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy and Skip Ace Fantasy picks. If you guys want to join in on the fun and have a chance to win some prizes, make sure you get your picks in on the respective sites.
Truth.
Cool. All right, we're going to end this, and then we will start our after show. Hang on there, YouTubers. Get your questions in there. We'll see if we can get them answered, and we'll just kind of relax and chill.
Sounds great.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Welcome to the after show. No affiliation with the Smashbox after show.
The very fast text at the bottom of the screen.
All right, so this is the after show where we answer some questions from YouTube. If you are an audio listener, you're like, what the heck is this extra thing doing in my podcast app? Well, we decided to, instead of being stingy and only let the YouTube people enjoy our after show, we thought we would include it in here, but it is a separate recording just in case you don't want to hear us blathering on about The Office or tacos or Torchy Tacos or other things other than disc golf. You have a choice now.
Blathering.
If you would prefer not
That's
to
a new
hear,
word.
you like that? If you
Yeah.
would prefer not to hear the blather, then go ahead and turn off this episode, and you will be back next week with the regular episode.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I cannot, for some reason, I thought there was a way to pop out the chat so that I could see more of it. There it is.
There it is, yeah.
There we go. Chat pop out. So, you got any questions you already picked out, Roberto?
Not just yet. I can get to it, though. So, a couple after here. Greldick says, question on the new Moonshine Prime Burst putters. Would you consider that plastic style more suitable to putting or driving / upshots as far as durability is concerned? From my understanding, I'm pretty sure they're about the same stability as just regular Prime.
They are just prime. It just has a different agent in it, I guess I would say.
Yeah, something like that.
So if you throw prime,
Yes.
I don't recommend throwing prime
Yeah,
personally.
unless you're specifically doing it for like a turnover eventually.
Yeah,
Because out of the box it'll be pretty much the same, but a few
Yeah.
hits and it'll get
or more of a park style course.
Yeah.
we have a lot of grass that you're playing on.
for sure. D-Word Teach says, how do you guys organize your discs in your bag? Stability, mold, purpose? How do you do it?
Random,
Rando.
however they fit.
I mean, mine's
Jam
like
those things in there.
Yeah, mine's. I definitely try to keep like mids together and drivers
I
together,
don't.
but other than that, it's just.
That's why I love sitting on the tee. Where is my? Did I lose that? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
It's true.
I do mine speed and stability. So
So you have a spot for each.
yeah,
I don't know
fast.
why.
All distance drivers together, overstable to understable. Same with fairways, mids, putters. Yeah.
And
See,
the purpose of that is
The reason
just
I do
just
it,
easier to organize, and for me to know like. I've looked at that same lineup so many times that if I leave one somewhere,
you know
it's
what
it's
it
easy to
is.
figure it
That
out.
makes sense. Like, now, if we were to switch bags, I'd know what discs to throw. If we switch bags and you looked at mine, you'd be like, "Oh my god, what do I do?"
What frisbee is this?
how many discs in your bag are of similar color.
There's a few, but most of them aren't close to each other.
I was gonna say that's how I do it. I get really familiar that I know. Now, like I have 2 Renegades. One's a first run, and one's a stock stamp, and they are the exact same. That limey, not well, it's more yellowy, not the limey yellow, but yellowy.
Right.
So
Those
like,
I
I'm
get.
missing an orange disc kind of thing. Is that what you're kind of getting at? You're
Right.
like, oh, I'm missing an orange. I don't
Right,
have-
yeah. Or if that's only when I need my Renegade, but like when I need my Trespass, there are different colors. When I need my Mavericks, they are different colors, so I know which one I'm
Gotcha.
grabbing. But you say there's no rhyme or reason to
Nah,
yours, right?
They're just thrown in there. And then if I'm in a golf cart, they all just end up in the basket.
Yep.
That's in the back of the basket.
Yeah.
Now they're just all randomly in there.
Yep. Let's see. Clint says Robert hates the soundboard. I don't hate the
no, he doesn't
soundboard.
say the soundboard.
In fact, I like the quality of it. The part that I don't like is all of the vocal effects.
Yes.
I would never use them, but I don't have control over those. So, it's Bobby's prerogative, and I respect his choice.
No, you don't.
I respect it. I don't like it.
No. Okay.
Bentley says I have headphones on, and you just mess with my brain, Bobby. See, so you're causing problems.
I'm causing brain mess
That's
ups.
right. Okay, so Zach said at Nick Hyde, Rebecca Cox appeared to slip and kick her disc on a shot from the fairway. Is that a foot fault? Would you call that on a muddy day where everyone is slipping?
No.
Good question.
I would not.
Was it called on the coverage?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I saw the exact shot he was talking about too.
Right. If it's on a muddy day like that, I'm not calling that.
No.
Yeah.
What is that? Greldick? The Office is a poor man's Parks and Rec?
So
Parks and Rec is good.
it's
It-
it's
but it's
hilarious.
good.
Office.
But Office
It's a-
came first.
It's a complete different humor too, in my opinion.
I like them for their own things.
Yes, they have their own stories and their own quirks and personality, but to me the obviously the looking at the camera is the same, involving us and connecting with us, but the way out there suspended reality comedy is similar. In other
Yeah.
words, things
Yeah,
that
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
you're like, that wouldn't happen in real life.
Joke's on you, they would.
Oh yeah, they would. Especially how Parks and Rec picks on politics and picks on the town.
True.
I mean, there's the stuff that the arguments that people bring up are hilarious and stupid.
I love both. I think both are fantastic.
30
television
Rock and
shows.
Scrubs is funnier than both, though.
Okay, first of all, no, that's incorrect.
30 Rock
30
was
Rock is very
funny.
funny.
It got kind of old after
Yeah.
toward the end. I thought.
Yeah.
Scrubs also very funny.
Scrubs is hilarious.
But I'm telling you, as far as
It's
all time
different.
TV comedies go, The Office and Parks and Rec I think are in a level above both of those. But I
I
love
agree.
Scrubs.
I
I
agree.
love Scrubs, and I love 30 Rock. I think it was great.
It's like
never
when you
liked 30
order
Rock.
a trailer park, trashy,
Oh.
and then an independent. I think it was with the brisket.
Yeah,
You can't pick one over the other. They both are just really good.
yeah, they're just good. That's all there is to it.
Eric's like, fair.
Fair. That's a fair point.
Neon Kitty says solid color medium Swan 2s win. Neon Kitty, when it comes to, this is just a general rule, when it comes to production and things like that, these are not the three people who are going to know that very well. Lots of different people handle that other than us. You might, I guess I don't really know the answer to where you might check that because I don't know the answer.
No.
Moving on. GBO not far away. Good luck to EMAC.
Thank you.
Sweet. Bad luck to you. That's what he said.
He did not.
I didn't make this up. I did make that up.
Bobby C. the Seer is nice, buddy.
What?
Bobby C. the Seer is nice, buddy.
I don't.
Check out the Seer. It's a good disc.
C. the Seer.
Yeah, check it
The
out.
letter C.
JVD
No,
said
Siri.
Terry and I are probably driving down to GBO Easter night,
Nice.
so they'll be here nice and early. That'll be
Who
good.
is?
That's Johnny V.
Johnny V and I are going to watch
What night?
You're the worst.
I literally didn't hear you. What
Easter night.
Okay.
Easter. Johnny V and I are going to watch Endgame
Oh, that's right.
Friday night of GBO.
Sick.
We
Dustin
bought tickets
Nelson.
already.
When the competition started?
Friday night. The competition is almost over.
No, that's true.
It's at 10 o'clock, though. We're going to the late show.
Respect. Dustin says, first row with my Raider outdrove my furthest flying destroyer by 40 feet. Nice, man.
Nice.
I know that I'm digging the Raider a lot.
Yeah.
Same?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah.
I feel like, all right, so here's just a little insight into my job. Eric Oakley calls me probably 4 times a week, which, quick math, that's usually 4 of the 5 work days.
Quick math.
And it's about just
Raiders?
things here or there. It doesn't really matter most of the time. Things that we need to talk about, but like just random stuff every time. But almost every phone call since we put the Raider out, he'll be like, dude, the Raider is good. I've been crushing on it.
It's good.
So, just saying.
It's
But,
really good, actually.
Emac, what's the biggest change that will change scores at ECC this year?
2 things.
Throwing less.
Hole number 8 now actually is going to play 8 to 9. That's a par 5. That is going to... I have a bet with Doug on that hole. Doug thinks 3 different people are going to get 3s on that hole during the week, and I said 0 peoples are going to get 3 on that hole.
Yeah, I'll take the 0 bet.
And then the hole immediately after that, hole number 9, that used to play down the golf fairway and then up to the right. It was hole 10 originally. Now it's hole 9 since we've added skip a hole. Those 2 holes are absolutely going to be killer back-to-back holes that if you go 4 or 3 on those 2, you're picking up strokes on the field.
Definitely picking up strokes.
When did Johnny V actually say? I'm sorry.
Easter night.
He's going to be Easter
He's
night?
driving Easter night.
Easter is what day? The 21st?
It's a Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've heard of it.
Well, someone said the GAM box crossover event. I have
Enough slots.
1, 2, I have 6.
Enough input.
I have enough input.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could. We could have we could
Well,
have
the,
like 2
the table will be in a different spot next time than it is today, or at least the
Yeah.
microphones will be.
Well,
we get a
but we could
revolving
set it.
table?
We could have you 2,
Strap in like the drummers.
Johnny and Terry there, and then me at the end.
Nice.
And if they bring extra mics,
As long as I get to sit next to Terry, I'm good.
Johnny, if is Johnny still watching?
I don't
Johnny,
know.
what do you
Guess we'll
think?
find out.
Maybe like Monday morning we could do. I don't know if we could do video because or it'd have to be like a 2 wide angles because it wouldn't have enough
Yeah.
cameras to be on everybody.
We'll see. I like it though. I'm interested.
I don't have enough live cam links or whatever.
Tell them to bring theirs.
Johnny V says you sit on your lap.
What?
So we're sold.
Hey, as long as I get to sit next to T-Dog, whether JVD's sitting on my lap or not is fine. Clint says, I want to hear what Emac was going to talk about when you brought up Paige's Eagle for the win.
Oh.
Do we need to keep it?
No, I don't think
do
we need
the
to keep
disclaimer?
it real. I don't think so. I mean,
I think it should be officially known that the after show
is always a disclaimer.
there's always a disclaimer.
Maybe
so
you
we
should
don't
just
know what
play
we're
that
gonna
at the beginning.
That's
of
probably true. I probably should play that at the beginning. So we'll pretend like I played it for live, but I'll play it on the other thing.
It was just kind of about I feel bad for the Nick Hyde Memorial event because historically it's been crappy weather, similar to GBO. To be honest with you,
Correct.
I mean, we've been pretty fortunate with GBO as far as weather goes, but having to cancel that round, and then I just feel awful for the players, the women that actually had to go out and play 4 holes in the morning, and then be told
They don't count.
those holes don't count, and then the next day through I think 12 holes of the final round, they're like, oh hey, by the way, those count.
And we got to play a few more.
And you're
going
to play more when we're done. Now, if I'm losing at that point, I'm like, yes. But if
Let's
I'm
go.
winning, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's what happened to Rebecca. Like
Yeah.
a couple of those 4 holes
Yeah.
were pretty bad for her.
yeah, they were. And I get it. It's a mistake. It was made. And I'm not calling anybody out for this at all. But
Just unfortunate.
it is very unfortunate. And I almost feel like, okay, you were in the wrong to do that. We're not going to count those holes. Is probably what should have happened.
Yeah.
But, I mean, rules are rules. They did end up playing by the actual rule.
Right.
But, man, it's just so unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know?
That was a tough way for that one to finish, no doubt about it.
Yeah. I do feel bad
Yep.
for it.
100%.
Situation. It sucks.
100%.
Percentile.
So that's kind of what I was referring to.
Definitely. Austin said, when building your bag, do you think it's better to have many different molds or fewer molds with the same variations? What do you say?
Fewer molds with the same variations.
I'm more in that boat as
I'm
well.
trying to get there.
Sweet.
Well, yeah, but I think if you're, I think that's the level everybody wants to get to.
Right.
But when you're first building the bag, that's almost impossible because
It
you
is.
want to test
And
out.
I
all
don't
the
throw.
discs.
I don't throw enough to say get different stages of discs.
wear, yeah.
To where I did lose my I think it was a hybrid trespass, the pink creamy swirl one.
Yeah.
I don't
Dang
know
it.
where that
was a good
thing is
one.
now. So now I have a trespass I had that I got from Tina.
Nice.
Now that was that a fusion one?
I don't
Hybrid.
remember.
Was it?
Oh,
it
or
stamp?
hybrid.
Was it the one with the,
The
whale?
whale?
Yeah, that's
The-
a hybrid.
Okay.
I would say I kind of go back and forth. Like I usually have fewer molds, air quotes, but probably carry more than some people. I'm just trying to cover the slots of overstable to understable in each speed range. And so if that's If that's discs that cycle, like, multiple Enforcers or multiple Raiders or whatever, great. And if it's something different, like I have a one-off Ballista Pro, I'm not going to take that out just because it's not a Raider.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of what works.
But
for
you're
you.
not going to throw it as much anymore, I bet.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it wasn't covering, I don't want to force a Raider to cover something that is already been covered.
Correct.
Someone said something earlier. I can't remember where it is in the mix in here, but I wanted to touch base on it. We were talking about the Raider. Someone said, does the Raider throw farther than the Ballista Pro? I thought it was interesting. I listened to Chris Telespo, who is on Team Dynamic Discs. He does a podcast. So if you just want more disc golf content, you can check out Pro-Am Disc Golf on your podcast app. Anyway, he was talking about the Raider because he had the Raider. They were talking about it Thursday before the release, and he had the prototypes and whatever we sent out to the team. And he says he thinks it's going to take his Ballista Pro out. He thinks he's got to throw it a little bit more, but he thinks it could replace his Ballista Pro.
He throws far.
I think it'll take out, because I've been currently carrying 3 Ballista Pros. I think it may take out 1, maybe 2 at most, but I still have to have a good Ballista Pro in there because for me personally, the Ballista Pro still goes further.
Yeah.
In more open distance. I can get more pop on it. It holds the right line a little bit lower, so it does go a little bit further than the Raider. But the Raider is more consistent for me, so I find myself reaching for it more, if that makes sense, because I trust it. Yeah. I know I can pop it hard and it's not going to flip over. Like if I pop the Ballista Pro wrong, it very well could throw over, and I think it's just because of how fast it is.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely. Ballista Joel's not going anywhere.
Nah, ever.
I think people need to caution themselves before when they hear different pros say, "Oh, that's going to take my whatever out," or "That's going to replace."
That doesn't mean it's going to do that for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. You need to get it. You need to throw it a few times, and then figure out, does it fill a space you were missing? Does it replace something else? And then don't abandon those old ones because you never know when you might need those back. So.
Yeah, just try it out.
This is a good question. Harold says, Bobby, what do you think is holding you back in your game right now?
Robert.
That is exclusively untrue. I encourage you daily.
No, I think what's holding me back is simply
my job.
My job.
The fact that I have
what's
a 9
holding
to
back
5.
my disc golf job, my disc golf game, my disc golf job. Yeah. No, literally just not getting out there and throwing enough. Like last night, I threw it at the Hammond Park and I was getting very frustrated. And I thought
the Hammond Park.
I was thinking I'm going to go play bag tags, and then it's windy, and then I get off work. It's basically just not playing enough.
So excuses,
basically,
because you just said you're not going to play tonight because it's wind. However, tonight, if you went and played tonight, that would help your game extremely.
Would it?
Or it makes
playing
you really
in these
mad.
conditions, because if you show up to a tournament in these conditions, you're going to play like garbage, and your rating's going to tank even more.
That's true.
But if you get out there and you're like, I remember when I was playing in the wind and I threw this disc instead and it worked out great.
We'll see. I might go play. We'll have to see how it
calms down by the 17th hole.
Right.
Chaser says,
the 17th, 12th hole. 7th, 12th.
My course just underwent major recovery from a tree removal and we're back to 36 holes. We're looking to celebrate. Is there a formal way to court DD pros to run an event?
Oh. Reach out.
Yeah, reach out to them directly. I know Little Page, Big Page, the Oakleys.
Big Little Page.
Yes. Castro Clemens. All those guys love running events, and they're out on the road a whole lot. So
just reach out.
That's reach out to them directly.
And, as long as you're located in an area where there's a tour stop somewhat close or along the way, more than likely they're going to have no problems.
Yeah, they're pretty amenable to
so
that
Jacer
stuff.
brings up a good point. Not a good point, but an argument. We have empirical evidence that your disc golf job does not affect your game. I'm assuming he's referring to Robert.
Sucker!
Now.
Sucks to
we
suck.
Have to,
I won the bet.
Wait a minute.
Never forget. Pay me, Torchies. What?
We have to. We'll never know. But had that
Will
bet
we
not.
Never know?
Here's the thing. Had we not made that bet, would your game have improved? We don't know because the bet actually encouraged you because you are very competitive.
That's true.
The
I
bet,
wouldn't call myself competitive.
yeah.
I will argue that.
Okay, wait. Sorry.
The bet actually was a catalyst for you to make sure that you did not
True.
play worse.
I would agree with that.
Okay, I'll give you that. I will say on the flip side of that, going out to tournaments knowing that on the podcast on Tuesday, if I played poorly, I have to come back and say I played poorly, added a lot of pressure to that.
But sure, but
that
your
wouldn't have
mindset
happened,
still
right?
was now I need to improve. Whereas had the bet never been made, The only thing that would have been on the line was
Just
not.
if I want to be 1,000 rated.
Just
or not.
self-dignity.
I think it probably motivated it for me just a little bit. I certainly wouldn't say it made it easier.
So Chaser, to your point, that is not empirical evidence.
It is definitely empirical evidence.
No, it's not.
You can work here.
This is not Star Wars.
You can work here, and your rating doesn't have to get worse. There it is.
But I've been working here for years, and my rating's tanking.
Dang it. But that generally does happen, and I'm sure this year I will have.
You're
some
not going
rating
to
drop.
play. You're not playing like you did last year.
No,
You're not practicing like you did last year.
I played a lot of events last year, at least for me, and I've played one this year.
I think you played more than I did last year.
I think so.
Yeah.
This year I played one Monkey Island, and I'm not playing another sanctioned one until probably after May is over.
Yeah.
I got things to do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You want to go play a sanctioned event this weekend with me?
Yes, please.
All right, let's go.
Sounds good. It's going to be really nice outside, I heard.
I know.
Recoil versus Raider. Which one is more stable?
I'll be honest, I haven't really messed around with the recoil a whole lot, but from what I heard that the recoil at least slower speeds tends to be a little bit more overstable.
Yep.
Is that you've thrown it a little bit more
I
than
think the
have.
Raider is more.
I tested them out, but that was about it.
I think the Raider is more overstable across the board.
Okay, cool.
Someone's arguing with
Good to
me
know.
again. Just saying, Paige Bierkus works there and won Worlds. However,
Yeah.
she will actually tell you that when she worked and went to school a lot, she was feeling down because her game was not at well.
She worked part-time, so that's a little different.
And when she decided that I'm going to go try this disc golf thing out, I'm going to go tour, she actually went on tour, didn't work quite as much, and put forth all her effort on this, and then went to win Worlds. That's even part of the story.
Yeah.
That she decided to not work and go out and
Not
travel.
go to school and go.
Boom, on you.
That's
Baltic.
less empirical evidence. I would still count mine as empirical evidence. In your face.
You just want to say
Not so much in
empirical.
your face. You're okay.
Fair enough.
But you're in your face for sure. All right.
Definitely your face.
Definitely in your face. Some guy named DG Weekly, I don't know who it is, it says that Anthony guy's rating has gone up a lot since working at DD, even before the bet.
Dang. What's up?
The fans have spoken. That's what they said that. They said it, not me.
It sounds like a lot.
This sounds like a good source.
All right, go ahead. Find some disc golf questions because I'm getting worked up.
Well, we're almost like I'm at the very end.
Zach, can I camp on your yard for GBO? Sure, you can camp on all the poop that Sebastian puts out there because that's about all there is to my yard.
In your face.
No, you cannot camp on
Same
my
with our yard, but also, yeah, you can't do that.
I don't have much of a yard.
Dova Nova Official says, is it still possible to go pro at an older age? Played for 1 year so far, starting at 25-26. My goal is to play MPO while still being able to work full-time outside of disc golf. You can definitely go pro.
They're
but
how old, though? Like 25?
yeah, so I guess they're saying 26, 27.
Yeah, of course.
But I think it's probably more difficult to become like one of those elite top level players at that age. Just not necessarily because of your age, just because your experience is so far behind them at this point.
Yep, I agree.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, you can. It also depends on what you mean by go pro. You can play in open and accept cash as a full time employee. That's what I've done my entire disc golf career.
And you're pro.
Yeah, and I'm pro.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out the other day there are 160,000 rated players in the world. So like, it's cool if you
Say that again.
There are 160 total 1,000 rated.
160.
160
1,000 rated pros.
Yeah, 1,000 rated players.
That's cool.
So like it's certainly possible to get to that level, and I think even a little bit higher. There's some people who work full time who Joe Revere comes to mind, who's
10, 20 something.
Shreds, yeah, has been super high rated.
Not just works full time, but has family, like has a kid, or maybe 2 now. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. Tony says, Bobby, how long does it take at work to walk to the backyard training field, throw a disc, retrieve it, and walk back to your desk? Do you do it as many times as there are smoke breaks with other workers?
So I don't get paid to go out and throw a disc and come back to my job, just as people don't get paid to go out and have a smoke break.
Kind of you do.
That's
You do
what they
kind
said.
of get paid to get out to the field and throw a disc.
Of course, when there's something new.
I'm
a
just
new
reading.
mold.
I'm just reading the questions.
But not to grab my bag and go out and practice.
Practice.
I don't get paid to do that.
Practice.
Kyle says best ace.
Most memorable off the top of my head right now was Sweden, the 81st hole of an 81-hole challenge.
Sick.
Called the ace too.
Yeah, said this is going in.
I said, well, I didn't call it and say it's going in. I said, this is my last chance for a Swedish ace.
Drano.
And then boom, won
That's
the tournament, hit the ace.
I was playing around by myself in Austin there's kind of a local route to this hole that you couldn't see the basket at all. The whole play is 360, but the route that I was taking was a huge hyzer that you probably have to throw 430-ish. Had headphones in, threw it up there. I was like, yeah, that looked pretty good. Walked down until I could see the basket, and finally, once I got around the corner of the woods, it was in. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And nobody witnessed it, and I didn't hear it. It was kind of crazy.
That's cool.
Best ace.
Well, now I've got
I
everybody
count it.
making me feel guilty
100%
that it's
count it,
called
dude.
an ace.
Count it.
I don't care who said that
Hole
wasn't an ace.
2
It's an ace.
at the Flint Tech College.
The Flint
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 Hills
Hills
Technical
Technical
College.
College.
Tech College.
See, now that makes sense. The Flint Hills Technical College, of course.
But not the Hammond.
Not the Hammond.
I like to go to the Jones East Park.
I actually have an ace story. Finally.
That's sick, dude.
Who do we? Let's. Speaking of stuff.
So, yeah, speaking of things.
Stuff and things.
Tiger
what did
Woods
they say on
at
Parks and Rec?
Masters.
Oh, dang it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Tiger Woods at Masters.
Yeah.
How do we think he's going to do?
I think he's going to play exceptionally well.
I do
Yeah.
too.
When does Masters start?
Tomorrow.
Thursday.
He
I may
did.
take the week off.
Yeah, I'm interested. He played well at the match play event in Austin. I think he got to the last
U.S. Amateur Match Play. Disc
I think
golf?
yeah, it's just amateur match play disc golf championship.
Dynamic discs.
I think he got to the final 4 of that bracket, and he was looking good. Beat some really good players on the way,
Yeah.
and he obviously he plays well at Augusta. So I'd love to see him do well out there.
I'd love to see him win. I think
Yeah.
that'd be a great story.
Same.
You know what I
There's
forgot
a lot of guys out there that can win this year, though.
I forgot to start and stop the YouTube.
Whatever.
Well,
The
people are going to be
YouTube.
like, they're going to be like 4 hours. What is this, Smashbox?
Michael just asked what
What is
course
this,
in
half
Austin.
of
This was
Smashbox?
this was at Rivery Park, hole 6. Once you crossed under the bridge, I don't know if it's
Rivery,
the same.
Georgetown.
Yeah, Georgetown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you crossed under the bridge, the one right after that.
I was going to ask something about the Masters. Now I forgot. Oh, Terry Roddy, who did stuff for Disc Golf Planet, posted a picture. He only shared it with. He didn't go public. He only shared it with friends. So I don't know who else saw it, but
I saw the camera thing. If that's
Yes.
what you're gonna say, yeah.
32 cameras.
Yeah.
Now I don't know, Johnny, if you were watching or listening. Do you know was
doesn't
that for
seem
the
like-
entire event?
That
or
doesn't
is-
seem like enough for the entire event.
I gotta imagine that's like for like.
Is that just like the ground crew? It doesn't count the ones up on like
Yeah,
towers.
I don't know.
Yeah, I asked him. It says, "Is that
With a
for the
blimp?
entire event?" And
Yeah.
I hadn't got an answer yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I just thought that was insane. People just like, why can't disc golf have a? That's like, it's because we don't have that kind of money.
Right.
32 cameras,
Yeah.
and
Well,
they're
not
all
to mention-
wireless.
Not to mention the Masters is like, I mean,
Well, sure, but I mean, they're not the only one that probably has.
no, of course they're not.
Yeah.
Every probably most likely every tour event has similar broadcasting.
Yep. Chaser says Robert McCall, dynamic disc manager, comma empirical evidence. So I'm just getting lots of stuff added to my title. Thank you very much. Greldick says, "LOL at the 25-year-old saying that they're old. Now where's my walker and get off my lawn?" I drive a Dodge Stratus.
Fact.
And then Bobby Culbertson right after said, "Funny, I'm 35 and started playing 3 years ago. 25 being quote old is funny to me." So when we say old, that's compared to a lot of the touring pros when they started playing disc golf.
I didn't
'Cause-
even win a major till I was 30.
Right, which is sick.
Yeah.
But you started playing how long before that?
I was 17 when I
Right.
started playing.
Yeah.
So,
And for whatever reason, there are some people who are naturally good at picking stuff up, but a lot of times, the muscle memory that you were good at as a kid, it's easier for you to pick stuff up then and then just develop it. So that's why I say
and technology
right.
doesn't hurt.
Yeah, for sure. But that's why I kind of understand what he's saying. If you're trying to be a straight up touring professional, yeah, 25 is a little late to start playing disc golf, but I would say it's certainly possible.
But follow your dreams.
Yeah. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
You guys coming to Finland this year for summer for tuning? No, we are not. However, Eric Oakley and Tina Oakley are coming down there, so
The
it
Oakleys.
should be good times.
I'm gonna miss
Paige
not going
Pierce
to
going
Europe
there
this
too?
year.
I think so.
Yeah, Paige Pierce will be there as well.
I'm gonna miss not going to Europe this year.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That was
I
my-
am going to Alaska though again. So
Yeah, that was my first time for disc golf to be out of the country. That was awesome.
Johnny V said those cameras are like $200,000 each.
I
Yeah.
believe it.
It's pretty good.
Jeez Louise,
Sweet.
$200,000 teen.
Wow.
I missed that.
Someone asked about a warm-up stretch. Yes. And then someone mentioned the Disc Golf Strong app. Yes, for sure. Go to your app store and search Disc Golf Strong. He has several stretching routines for you to do, and they are very helpful, and I would highly, highly suggest it.
Yeah,
Especially if you plan on playing this sport for a while now.
for sure.
We forgot to discuss the DGPT media change.
We happy, right?
Yes, we are happy. I think it's a good deal to have
Technically, it
Johnny.
hasn't happened yet, right? Because aren't they not doing Jonesboro?
No,
I don't know.
I thought they said that they had prior engagements. Maybe I could be wrong, but I thought they weren't doing Jonesboro.
I thought Jonesboro was the one they're coming
Well,
back
maybe that's
to
the
do.
first one they're doing.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
I'm certainly glad to have
I'm stoked to have
Johnny V and Terry
Smashbox
back out there.
Yeah,
100%.
course.
I obviously, we've worked with them before, but I respect those guys. I like them a lot. Would never say that to their face.
Never.
But
Never.
I think they do a great job. And as far as live coverage of disc golf goes, I don't know of anyone who really does it better right now. And so, yeah, I think that'll be a step up for the Pro Tour and really good for those guys.
Oh, Johnny is at Jonesboro. Terry is the
Sweet.
one that's busy.
Okay,
I mean, that's all
what
we
it
need.
was.
That's all
what
we
it
need
was.
So
anyway.
he's going to help the switching.
JVD is
JV
the one who knows stuff.
Terry who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All he does is hold a camera, right?
So this
Or
is
he doesn't even do
strange.
that anymore.
That's what I heard.
What do you guys think of a disc sharing movement? For example, people do this with books. This is Gage asking. There are areas where people can take a book and leave a book. How do you think this would work with discs?
I think people would just steal them and leave.
We do that here at the warehouse.
We do have that here, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In a
something
more
like that would-
trustworthy environment.
Right, but I think something if you left it at a park or
Yeah.
or something like that, I don't think that would be successful, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sweet.
Unless you
let's
got to pay to get into it.
How do you find new people to sponsor? Is it a result of internet plunge?
Robert gets
Into
teens
social media and
of
tournament
emails
history?
a week.
Or
In
they introduce you by
the
themselves?
10 teens,
Or friends, fams?
yeah, so people apply through the Dynamic Disc website. You can do it that way. I will kind of keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the tournament world and social media world as they both pertain to disc golf. And just kind of keep my eye on people and then get recommendations from team players, people that I know and trust. There's a lot of things that go into sponsoring players. A lot.
What if it was monitored by pro shops, the disc sharing movement?
No, that might work.
Sure. I don't think the disc pro shops are going to really like it that much because they want to sell discs, not give them away.
Right.
There's that factor, and then there's the factor of someone who has a disc that probably wants to get some sort of value back. So even if they spend $18 a disc, they might want to sell it for $5 to get some sort of value.
Yeah.
Now the value could be they're bringing it in to trade it. So there's that. So I don't know. I suppose it could work. I'd have to see a case study.
I like Mr. Drew said, Johnny V, if you guys aren't spending $200K each on 32 cameras, where's all this Patreon money going?
Fact.
It's a fair freaking question.
Yeah, no kidding.
I have a meeting I need to get to. If y'all would like to continue, you're more than welcome to, but I need to go in like the next couple minutes.
What's the meeting about?
GBO,
Let's talk about it.
What about GMO?
players meeting.
What about it?
I'm going to talk about stuff.
What are you going to talk about?
I'm not sure yet. That's why I need to go to the meeting.
Stuff.
It's probably because I reminded Jeremy to put together his thing.
Oh, his speech.
Right, because he always comes to me and says, hey, can I have a picture of this? Can I have a video of this? Can I have this?
Over under. How long?
How long
Rusco
what?
or you?
Rusco. Mine will be pretty short.
18 minutes.
I'll take under.
Okay.
Barely.
Barely.
You're
So
not even going to
17:30.
remember from now until then, are you?
How
It's live.
How dare you insult my man? I'm just kidding. JK, he's gotten much better about it.
JK.
He does a good job.
Juliana Korber.
Yes. 5-time.
5-time.
What does it mean to have your tournament sponsored by DD?
That means that we provide some players pack stuff for you, sometimes payout, things like that, in exchange for publicity for the tournament, pretty much.
Yeah.
You can email sponsorship at dynamicdiscs.com to learn more about it.
Derek Savory.
Yeah, because there's varying levels of sponsorship, and there's varying ways in which we sponsor.
Correct.
Title sponsorship, just
Yeah.
small sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Popcorn for EMAC.
Thank you.
Oh, that's what they're doing with the Patreon.
Oh, for the end game night.
And game tickets and
yes.
Patreon popcorn.
Any end game predictions? Will it really be the end game?
I mean,
I don't know much about it.
maybe. I mean,
You need to catch up. You need to watch all 25.
Yeah, I can't. I almost spoiled it for you. Actually, they're doing it in Emporia. They're doing all 28 Marvel episodes leading
they're
up to
not.
it live. I'm not. I said they are.
No,
it's on cable.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, you can watch them all the way up until in-game.
I 100% thought you were joking.
It's on like AMC or something's doing it.
That's crazy.
Bro, I thought
There's
that was
like
a joke.
lot going
That's
on.
serious.
I want to. I'll tune into some of it for sure.
course.
'Cause I'm a big fan.
I've enjoyed the
of
ones I've
Marvel.
watched for sure.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
I want to know when you guys are going to catch up with Game of Thrones.
Well, never is.
Well,
the
you
answer to
have
that.
to start it to catch up with it.
This is true.
I've never even. Like,
I've heard it's a great show.
It is
I'm
a
sure
good
it's
show.
wonderful, but I don't have HBO. Sorry,
Also, don't have.
Hubbo. I thought you said you did.
it's not TV. It's HBO.
We may have it on our DirecTV, but
Are you sure it's not just an option to get it?
It's an
well,
option
it's-
on
it's
PlayStation
it's listed
View,
on our-
but I don't pay for
Right,
it.
that's what I mean.
It's listed on our bill, but then subtracted the cost of it. But we don't watch TV very much, so I don't look at it very much.
It's not TV, it's HBO.
It's not
Okay,
TV.
thank
It's HBO.
Okay. This
All right.
is
Sunday night programming.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for the after show. No affiliation with Smashbox TV's
After show.
I'm sorry, after show. So we're gonna go ahead and end this one, the rambling, and so
TJ says butter is my favorite food.
I like Patreon popcorn though.
Yes.
I'm interested in Johnny V.
Captain America, the patron saint of disc golf.
Who else beats up bad guys with a frisbee?
Nice.
It's not wrong.
It was on Amazon Prime. He thought the marathon,
Game of Thrones?
the Marvel Amathon,
Mm-hmm.
Amathon,
The Marvel Amathon.
Marvelthon.
marathon teen.
It could be. Either way, it's out there. It's coming.
Either way, somewhere it's out there. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.